Welcome to episode 10 of Cold Topic, where we talk about topics that are either cold, colder. Here I have with me Zach, or he's our Sack. He's our resident Sack.
I am the resident Zach.
Yeah,
Yes,
he is. He is the envoy of hope.
I am your envoy of hope. Yes, I was supposed to host, but I didn't because I didn't want to fuck with my OBS settings because I'm still streaming on the fucking PlayStation 3 and I goddamn hate it. And I want to get it done as soon as possible.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. I hate streaming. It's annoying.
On the plus side, I only have to do like 2 more things on it, so yeah.
I remember when Zach was my envoy of fish.
Yeah, we haven't hit a fish in a video game in a very long time. It's almost disappointing.
Should play Zelda then. You can go fishing in Zelda.
Meh. Anyway, recap time.
A recap. So, Zach, what have you been up to this last month?
Yeah, so this month I have just been basically playing Persona 4 Arena Ultimax with the P4A story DLC. Now, How Long to Beat said that this game was 9 hours for Persona 4 Arena and like 9 hours for Ultimax, or 10 hours for Persona 4 Arena and 9 hours for Ultimax, I should say, for 19 hours. So I should be able to be done in 2-3 streams, right?
Jeez.
It fucking lied to me. So goddamn hard. I'm on like stream 6. I think we're going on stream 7, which will probably be the last one for this fucking game. Persona 4 Arena took 5 streams. It was as long as fucking Strikers. It was so fucking long. We've been trapped in this hellhole. And you might ask yourself, how good is Persona 4 Arena? Here's the answer. It is the worst Persona game I have ever played, and I played Persona 1 and the fucking dancing games. This is terrible, and I'm trapped, and it's on the PS3, and I can't wait to be done. Like, I was gonna finish it today, was the plan. I was gonna finish it before the stream, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna wake up early, I'm gonna stream, it's gonna be a thing, I'll get it done, and then I'll host the podcast, and everything will be okay, because I don't have to worry about fucking around with my settings. So I took, like, a melatonin to help myself get to sleep better, and then here's something I fucking learned. Melatonin can cause panic attacks.
Mm-hmm.
So everything went tits up.
Well, that sure is a thing, yeah.
Yeah. It was fucking terrible.
True. Yeah, I mean, that'll do it. That'll happen.
Other bit of recap. This is some personal news recap, though I will say, very proud of her. Grandma Sack beat her first video game.
Well, which game was she playing?
She beat Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. Everyone give a round of applause. You can't hear my hands, I'm sure.
I can hear him a little bit, yeah.
Okay. You shouldn't be able to. RTX isn't doing its job then. Yeah, she beat Danganronpa. I'm super proud of her. And she's already playing Danganronpa 2. So, good for her.
The fact that you said your grandma's playing Danganronpa at all is like amazing in itself. let alone the fact that she beat it. The fact that she played it at all.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I don't think either of my grandmas ever touched a video game in their life.
I let her try Atelier Mirror once, and she was not feeling it.
Yeah. My mom, on the other hand, and my dad, they play video games. They're the reason why I am the way I am.
Yes. Well, Mama Sack occasionally plays video games, but she's not really worth noting. Like, she doesn't deserve applause when she beats a game.
Yeah. My parents used to, they would like buy us the games for like Super Nintendo and shit, and then we'd go to sleep and they would take the Super Nintendo in the room, just play it like all night. I remember like waking up and my dad was like yelling at fucking like Wing Commander on Super Nintendo, and I'm just like, what the fuck's going on? Life?
Yeah, when I was a kid, my parents would buy the Super Nintendo games for themselves, and then they would kick me out of the room, and they're like, "Get the fuck out of here and go play with your toys, shit kid." And I'm like, "Okay,
What? They wouldn't say shit kid, would they?
probably not."
Okay.
That sounds like a me word.
Okay.
It's an implied shit kid.
Yeah. We always asked for him, so we always got him for Christmas and shit. So yeah. It was always nice. So if anyone's to blame for my love of video games, it's definitely my parents.
Yeah.
But good on them because of video games, I never did hard drugs. So good
You
on
know
them.
what? Isn't that better?
That is better, yeah. Because I spend way more
Yeah.
money on video games than I ever could on drugs. So
Probably not true.
fair enough. Anyways,
So what have you been up to with your streams, John?
so we finally finished Bloodborne a couple weeks ago. Every single boss. The only thing we didn't do was Chalice dungeons because
So you
fucking-
didn't do every single boss.
we did all the main and DLC bosses. I'll say, just because like I wanted to do the Chalice dungeons, but I was like, you know what, it's time to move on from Bloodborne because we played it for a while.
No, to be fair, when I did my curtain call in Bloodborne, I also didn't do the Chalice dungeons. Excuse me. Not because I was afraid of not because I was afraid of the actual bosses in the Chalice dungeons. It was because the fucking Defiled Chalice dungeon is the most nonsensical thing ever.
Fair enough, yeah.
You do half damage, you have half health, you basically just die in one hit.
Yeah, no thanks. We played Bloodborne, and that's all that mattered. Is that we played it, we beat every single boss in the game. We beat Gehrman, we beat Moon Presence, we did it all. I destroyed Gehrman and Moon Presence and Koss too. I just want to say, I did all three of those bosses.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think Koss was that bad either.
Oh yeah, Koss really
I
wasn't
beat
that
him in
bad.
like first try.
Oh no, it took me 2 tries. Yeah, the first try he got me like halfway through. He got me in phase 2. But then
Yeah.
I remembered that I could dodge.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a thing. And then like he was like, yeah, he really wasn't that bad. Yeah.
No, yeah. And like Lawrence, everyone's like, oh, Lawrence is even worse than Koss. He's just a fucking cleric beast.
Yeah, Lawrence wasn't too bad. The only problem I had with him was like I just was dumb and kept on standing in the fucking fire sometimes, like the lava shit. But I mean, other than that, like I thought honestly the hardest boss I thought was like Ludwig. Like I thought he was like the hardest boss, and he killed me 3 times. I don't remember. Yeah, but
I had trouble with Maria, but I was like horribly underleveled when I fought her.
oh, I fucking parried her ass to the fucking ground. Her anger, man, I just fucking parried to death.
I could literally not parry her.
Really?
Like my character wasn't fast enough. Yeah, I actually think it might be a stat allocation thing or something. Like I was physically incapable of parrying her.
Yeah, because the thing I only had like I want to say 18 bluntage by the time. Yeah. At the end of the game, I only had like 18,
which is way more than I had. Yeah,
okay,
I don't know. I wonder if the animation is sped up or something, or it was like a hardware issue causing lag. It was impossible to parry her because the second I hit the button, she had already hit me. Like every time.
Yeah.
Like there was no like in between of the tells. So I don't know if it was a hardware thing or I didn't have enough stats and like parrying or something. It was impossible to do it.
No, yeah, that
the literal animation was not fast enough.
That makes sense. Yeah, like because I parried her to death and Gehrman like no problem. Like one of my favorite.
Gehrman I could do. The actual parrying animation was longer than her like attack completion. Like by the time she was moving, I hit the parry button. She had already hit me.
Yeah.
It didn't matter like how fast I was reacting. It was just like nothing would parry her.
Yeah, she was fun. She was fun. I actually died to the boss right before her, and I didn't die to her. Just because I got cocky, and I was like, whatever. These guys are the fucking living
failures.
Yeah, I was like doing that boss. I'm like, these guys ain't shit, and then I got hit with like that fucking like spray of bullshit. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, yeah.
Oh, it has like the coolest name ever, actually.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that was fun. So we finally beat Bloodborne all bosses, so we checked that off the list. Then we started Bayonetta. Still doing Bayonetta. Then we started
Oh, it's called Meteor Swarm. I think I gave it a way cooler name.
Meteor Bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we started Bayonetta. So we're gonna
That game
continue
is
that.
not very good.
It's fun.
I said it. I
It's
said
fun.
it. It's a worse version of Devil May Cry. Just play Devil May Cry.
It was worth the $5 that I spent.
Fair enough, I guess.
Yeah.
I own 2 copies of that game.
We also started Final Fantasy 14 last night, and Pacha and I were playing that together last night.
I'm sure Pache is very happy about that.
Pacha was very happy. It was fun. I was having a good time. It's decent MMO. I mean, I'm only in the beginning, so I really haven't experienced much of it. We only played for like 3 hours on the dot, actually. So I didn't get too. I think I'm like level 12 or 11. I can't remember, but that was fun. And we also played Hollow Knight too, and beat that all bosses, which brings me to the next thing, which is big surprise, Hollow Knight.
Hollow Knight.
So yeah, we played this.
All bosses?
We did all bosses. Except
all bosses.
I did not do Nightmare Grim
Pantheon.
and the Pantheon. I got to Nightmare Grim and said, "Fuck this, we'll do it later."
Okay.
Because I said I will beat the game at 100%, and I was at 100% when I got to him, so I was like, I don't need to beat this boss.
Okay, it's actually 112% for Hollow Knight with the DLCs.
Yeah, but I'm not beating that Pantheon. Fuck that.
No, there. I mean, if you you clearly missed some other stuff then.
Yeah, there's like there was two charms I didn't get.
Yeah.
I didn't do I was gonna do every time I wanted to go do Delicate Flower, I got sidetracked by something else, so I haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
I have to beat the last thing in the Coliseum.
Getting Delicate Flower to the actual questing zone is harder than getting Delicate Flower to Godseeker.
I don't even know where Godseeker is. I cannot find her.
Like the chunk level.
Oh. Yeah, I
like near the sewers underneath the Capitol, I think.
I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah. So you did Path of Pain.
Oh, and is that the White Palace stuff?
Yeah, White Palace, not Path of Pain.
Yeah. Everyone's like, this is really hard, and yeah, there were some spots that were like difficult, but I kind of breezed through it. Not gonna lie, because platforming champ.
Yeah, I had a rough time.
Yeah, I went in there and like I flew through like the first 3 like no problem. Then I got the 4th one, I'm like, fuck this one. Like
the tricky one is when you have to dodge between the 2 saw blades, hit the wall as saw blades come out of the wall, and then ping pong between the saw blade walls as they rotate up and down and come out of the wall.
Yeah, I didn't have any trouble with the saw blade stuff. It was like the spiky bits that would come out. So like there was like that one jump where you're like right here, and then the spikes are coming out like that, and fucking for whatever reason,
it might be spikes. I don't fucking remember. Some bullshit where you have to dodge between 2 different walls, land on a different wall before the blade comes out, and then ping pong up the walls as the blades move up and down. It's nonsense.
I know that part. Yeah, that part was fun. Yeah,
that part.
I actually really like that part, and I was like, I thought that was like a DLC thing, so I didn't expect it, and then I went in there for whatever reason. I'm like, oh, I got to do this now, and we ended up doing that, and that was fun. I got that. We beat Radiance. Radiance took 5 or 6 tries. Wasn't too bad. Yeah. Then I beat Grim because we did Grim Troop stuff last. Just because for whatever reason I went there and activated it, but never jumped on the thing to actually activate the quest line. Like an idiot. So we had to go back and do that. And my favorite part was trying to figure out how to get the stag nest, and then going back to the stag and realizing it's already in my fucking list of things I can go to. That was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I played Hollow Knight a while ago, and I actually got the 112%. And the game is amazing. Don't get me wrong. I will never play this on stream because you need to. Because every time I stream a game, I always go for the best ending, and I'm not going back into that pantheon, John.
Yeah. Eventually I'm gonna do that. I'll do the 112 and I'll do the Pantheon. I just since I have so many games on my list, I have like 50 plus games. I was like, let me beat this. Let me get the 100% so I can at least say I 100% of it, and then we'll move on to the next thing because there's so much shit to do. Like we just started Bug Fables, which is like a JRPG, kind of in the style of like Paper Mario. So we just started that. So I was like, I don't want to keep.
Is it a JRPG or just an RPG?
It's like a JRPG. It's turn based, yeah. It's just like Paper Mario, yeah.
But it's Japanese. That's what the J stands for.
Well, maybe I don't know. It's maybe it's a turn based. Fucking, it's a game sack. I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, we started that. So I from the beginning of this game to the end of it, I loved every second of it. The art was great. I like the darkness type themes in it. The lore is pretty well thought out and good. I thought I liked exactly what the story was about.
This is not a JRPG.
Well, then it's an RPG, and I love it. The character designs were great. The music was good too. There was never a spot where I felt it was too incredibly hard too. I thought it was very balanced in all sorts of game. Like
Are we still talking about Hollow Knight, or are we talking about Bug Snacks?
we're no, I was talking about Bug Fables, but no, I'm talking about Hollow Knight now. Well, did you look up Bug Snacks?
Bug Fables.
Okay,
I did.
Okay. Bug Fables different. But yeah, I didn't feel defeated at any time. Like if I got to like when I got to Trader Lord, like I think I died to him the most out of any boss. And it was more
Trader Lord is my fucking iron golem in that game.
Yeah, until I realized, hey, I can use magic. And I always, for whatever reason, every time I went up against a boss or something, I always forget about magic. Until Trader Lord, when I was like, yeah, that's right, I can use magic against these bosses because I have these charms that make my magic stronger. So I should use that. And then I just completely obliterated him.
Yeah, you got to play the game good to beat the game good.
Yeah, that's why when I got to like Hollow Knight itself was like stupid easy. Like you can literally just pogo him to death. Like I didn't even use magic like the entire fight. And I fought him. I had to fight him like 6 or 7 times just because you have to fight him to get to the Radiance.
Yeah.
So for like a final boss, I'll say Hollow Knight. Not a very solid final boss, to be honest. The Radiance, however, like that was like a pretty good final boss. Hollow
Knight's the like fucking Gehrman of the game.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Yeah, cause like so, but even so, like in Bloodborne, like I fucking destroyed Gehrman, and then Moon's Prince came down. I was like, "What up, bitch?" And I just slapped it back up to the moon. And
you had also done the DLC at that point.
You damn right I did. I did DLC first.
Right. So That's why you already beat enemies that were like 30, 40 levels above him.
You're damn right. That's why I was like, I'm gonna do the main bosses last, cause fuck it.
Well, no, I mean that's just the way narratives work. Well, you have to with Bloodborne because it's an auto new game plus.
Yeah, unless you save scum, which I did.
Oh.
So I could go back and get the alternate ending, so I don't have to play the game over again.
Lame.
You're damn right. Because we beat the game once. Do I ever want to go back to it? I probably will at some point for shits and gigs, but I just want the achievements, I want those blistering achievements, so I don't have to go back and
you didn't earn them in a crucible of fire like I did.
No, I didn't, because you said it best, man. Cheat your way to victory, and I did. You're welcome.
I don't think I ever said that, but I agree with the statement.
Thank you. No, I think your words were, if there's cheats in a game, you damn right I'm going to use them. It was something along those lines.
I don't think that was what I would have said either.
Well, maybe something like, I don't know. I'm going to cheat if I can.
I'm sure I said something around there. The idea was right. I think the wording is where you're off.
Fair enough. Yeah. I just wanted to make sure that I got all that stuff just in case I never came back to it. I mean, I'm sure I will at some point just because, I have the game. Maybe I will do the challenge dungeons. I don't know. But we're talking about Hollow Knight. So,
which is way better than Bloodborne in every way. And I'll fucking say it all the time. Every way, every level.
I will. I do love Bloodborne. I think it's honestly the best Souls game. People will fight that.
Fight that.
Yeah. Well, I think it's the best one. I also think it's the easiest one too, personally. Just because like I'm better at the faster paced combat that it comes with in the game. So but Hollow Knight is definitely a better game than Bloodborne from top to bottom. I think I clocked in 25 hours in this game when we finished.
Okay.
Which is probably way less than Bloodborne. I don't even know how long I spent on that game, to be honest. But
I think what was I in Hollow Knight? Like 50 hours or something?
Yeah, but I cheated and used the map and stuff.
Yes, and I spent a good amount of the game fucking lost.
I did not, because I was like, if I'm playing this on stream, I'm gonna make sure that I make progress. So we're not spending 100 hours on this game. Because I remember I played Super Metroid without a map, and no thanks. I mean, I played Castlevania Circle of the Moon without a map. No thanks. Never doing that again. If it's Metrovania, I'm using a fucking map. I don't give a fuck what people say. I'm using a map. But yeah, this game was fun. Traversal is like probably my favorite like part of it. When you get that crystal heart ability or whatever, and you can just fucking fly cross screens. God, mwah. Every game should have that. Then when you get fucking Dreamgate, oh my god, does it make everything better? Dreamgate is literally one of the best accessories in any game, because it's like, oh hey, you want to just go back to this part? Just do this real quick, and then you can just warp back. It makes just traveling over this nicely spread out map so much easier.
I basically never used it.
Really? I use it as soon as I forgot to get it because I beat all the dream bosses or whatever, and then I turned in all my shit at the end because I'm like, I just want to go visit her once just for time's sake. And then I got it. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about this. And then like I started using it all the fucking time. Like I did the Grim Troop stuff in probably like an hour just because I kept using Dreamgate to get fucking get back to like Stagways and shit like that, and all that shit. I'm very excited to go back to this at some point. I don't know when, but to finish it and do like the Pantheon and get that 112%.
Gotta do that Iron Man mode.
What?
You gotta do that Iron Man mode. Iron Steel or Iron Mask or some bullshit.
I'm not doing that because no. Any game that has like a one death delete file thing, no thanks. I'm not doing that. Because I will make one dumb mistake and then it'll be game over and then I'll just never do it again. Fuck it. I thought I unlocked it, so I mean that's cool, but I'm not gonna do that. That's ludicrous. No thanks.
Steel Soul. That's what it's called. Steel Soul.
Yeah. And anyone who has done that, good for you. You're awesome, and I love you. No thanks. Not for me. That is not for me.
Not me. I've not done it.
I don't have the patience because I would try it once and I'd probably fuck up on Gru's Mother or False Night and then just never touch it again.
I would definitely fuck up on Gru's Mother. I actually have a weird amount of hard time with Gru's Mother.
Really?
Yeah, it's like her weird jumping pattern. I just
It's just boop 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 boop. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm very bad at boop 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 boop.
Oh, see, so the reason why I blew through most of this game is because like I'm very good at the patterns of these bosses because it's very Mega Man-esque. So like because you're trapped in like a little stage with them each time basically, and I'm used to that shit with like Mega Man games and some other games too. So and they all have similar RNG when you go back into that fight. They do switch it up. Like there was one point where I was it was Hollow Knight that he never did that that spiky move. After like 3 fights with this guy, he didn't do like the ground up spike thing or whatever. And like this the third match he like did that and it caught me off guard. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Is this shit? Like this is even a real thing. Also fuck Nightmare King Grim because Jesus Christ. I think we spent 15 minutes trying to beat him, and I died like 18 times, something like that. I don't know. I lost track.
Oh, that's nothing for Nightmare King Grim.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
baby shit.
I mean, the original Grim, it took me like 3 tries, I think, to beat him. So I was like, oh, his nightmare version can't be that.
Pussy.
Yeah, I was like, his nightmare version can't be that but hard. I literally got into like, I walked in there the first time and died in like 3 seconds. Like he just fucking obliterated. He like bent me over the counter and just fucking whapped that ass.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, people did say he was the hardest boss in the game, but they also said the Radiance was, and I was like, the Radiance isn't that bad. You just kind of gotta get timings down right.
People said the Radiance was the hardest boss in the game because the Radiance was the hardest boss in the game.
Until Grim.
Yeah, because that was added in as free DLC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's why it goes to 112%.
Yeah. I do want to beat him eventually, though.
They added in the Nightmare Trope, Lifeblood, and Godseeker all as DLC. That's why it's 112% and not 100%.
Well, Lifeblood, which one's that?
I actually don't know what Lifeblood changed.
Is that the Hive? Because wasn't that added after?
Maybe. I don't know.
I did do the Hive. That area was yeah. Everyone said Hive Night was fucking hard too, and it only took me like
Hive Night. No.
Yeah, it only took me 2 tries to beat him. I was like, he's really not that hard.
Oh yeah, Hive Night. Yep, Hive Night, and it added map markers to the mapping,
marker, which I never used because I used the map like a cheater, and I don't care.
And different menu styles, and it added Hidden Dreams.
Oh, to like
Hidden Dreams was its own content pack.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I definitely want to play this game eventually again. If I could give it a rating, I'd give it a solid 8.5. It was a lot of fun. Yeah. I felt they could have used a little bit more content, but they were going to do that with Silksong, but that became its own game.
More content? It has like a bunch of content. The only reason you think there wasn't a lot of content is because you used a guide to get through it.
Damn right I did.
Yeah, if you had played it the proper way, the game has plenty of content. Almost too much.
That's fair. I did literally everything in the game except for a few things. I really like this game though. I think it's great. I'm really pumped for Silksong to come out. I'm really excited to see what they're gonna do with the series. I mean, obviously,
yeah, Silksong's gonna be fucking. I'm excited for Silksong.
Yeah, a couple people I know played it at I think it was PAX East. It was I think it was the one I wasn't allowed. I technically wasn't allowed to go to, but I didn't go to. Which just kind of sucks. I wish I would have played that. I didn't play Holland. This is my first time, so I mean, it was a good game. I really liked it. So let's move it right along to the next one.
Mantis Lords is one of the greatest bosses I've ever fought.
Mantis Lords was really good. Somebody was in my chat. They're like, "Oh, you should come back to this later." I was like, "Nah, fuck it. We're here now. We're gonna do it now."
Come back to it later. What a fucking pussy bitch.
I was like, "No, we're here now. I don't care if I'm under leveled or I don't have any upgrades. Whatever. We're just gonna do it." And I learned the pattern, and I did it, and I just tried not to get hit, and we beat it.
The fuck comes back to Mantis Lords? Yeah. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, we did it. We did it. It was fun. Like that was like the first boss too, and I was like, this is like a good challenge. Because I died a pretty good amount of times to that
okay,
boss.
It's not the first boss, but
well, it was like the first like challenge.
It's like the third boss or fourth or something.
Grooves, if you even count Grooves. False
yes.
Knight, Hornet. Yeah, technically, it was my fourth boss. Yeah, because I did.
You fought Hornet before Mantis Lords?
Yeah, you have to because she's in Green Path. Yeah.
Are you sure? I don't think I did. I think I fought Mantis Lords first. I might be misremembering. I'm pretty sure I fought Mantis Lords before Hornet.
Well, you fight Hornet twice in the game.
You fight her like 3 times, I think.
Really? I only fought her twice.
That's because I played more of the game. Yeah, I don't know. I might be wrong. It's been like a year or so, or like it's been a few years since I played that. I thought I fought them out before Hornet though.
Yeah, because you need to fight Hornet to get the cloak. So you can do the dashy boys.
I don't think I dashed. I don't think you need to dash to get to them, do you?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you do. Yeah. And if
I
you
don't
beat
know.
Mantis Lords without the dash, then I'll give you my crown.
No, yeah. No, you're right. I think I did dash.
Okay, I was gonna say if you beat it without dash, man, you're a fucking legend.
Yeah,
you got a dash in that fight.
I actually think you can get. I actually think you can get there without the dash. But I distinctly remember dashing over them. So if you need to beat Hornet to get the dash, then I probably did it.
Yeah. But yeah, that's Hollow Knight. Eventually I'll come back to it and finish it up. But for now,
Oh yeah, and there's also Moss Charger. So they're like boss 5 or something.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about Moss Charger.
Everyone forgets about Moss. That's the one that's not a real boss.
Yeah, because I literally just like ran up on it and I just thought it was a normal enemy.
Yeah,
just a bigger version of it. So I was like, and then like I was looking at like a boss list and like a ranking, and like Moss Charger was like the last one. I'm like, that was a boss, okay.
Weird flex. No, well, yes. Now that's the easiest boss in the game.
Yeah, that's hands down the easiest boss. If I'm not counting that, what would the boss is?
False Knight, I would say, for me.
I'd actually say Nosk. Yeah.
Flying Nosk or regular Nosk?
Regular Nosk, because I didn't get to the flying one. I didn't do the Coliseum.
Oh, okay. Oh man, there's not enough content in the game. Oh, I didn't do that, or that other thing.
Well, you know what I mean. There's enough content, but not for someone who wants to move on to other things. That's my thing. Also, a new mic. So I forgot to mention that I got a new mic. That's in the
congratulations! I got a green screen.
I see it.
That works. Yeah.
That's the same one that I have.
This is literally just a green screen I put over my curtains because my actual green screen isn't big enough. I just don't have it up right now because I can't use it.
Fair enough, yeah. But let's move it right on to our next topic, which is drumroll, please.
Copyright
claim. I don't know if that's true. What is it though? You have the list, right? I put it in heaven.
Yeah. Why are people so obsessed with Goku?
Okay, which I put under Fight Club.
Yeah, it's not Fight Club because I didn't actually research Fight Club.
It's not Fight Club.
And also, we're not doing a Fight Club. You can tell because I didn't put the Fight Club soap up there. This is more of an open discussion about why the fuck are people so obsessed with setting characters against Goku? I don't get it.
Because, okay, so from my perspective as I'll say a novice anime watcher, because, I only watch the big fighty guys and stuff like that. Goku and Dragon Ball Z and all that stuff is probably most people's first anime or only anime they've ever watched.
Right.
He's a very recognizable character. Like, you can ask fucking Joe Schmo on the street, like, who's this guy? And they're going to be like, he's Goku. It's Blue Goku. Like, yeah, I'm sure it is. But, like, people know who Goku is. So, the fact that he's always, like, depicted as like the strongest person in his universe, even though he really isn't. There's a few people that are actually much stronger than him.
Not top 20.
Yeah. So people they'll just pit him against anyone. Like they pit him against Superman. We pit him against Sailor fucking Moon, and he lost.
He did.
He did.
That was part of the question.
And
why the fuck is it always Goku?
And I got into an argument with my coworker about why he lost against Sailor Moon. And I even pulled up said podcast, and I'm like, listen to this entire thing. This is how she loses. I was like, Sailor Moon is probably like one of the strongest like anime characters like out there.
Nope.
I said one of.
Nope. Wouldn't put her in the top 100 either, I don't think.
Wow. Well, for normies. One.
For normies? Yeah, okay, well, okay, if we're going to make a normie list, yes, for sure.
Yeah, because he came at me with like, oh, there's this guy from this manga that's not an anime yet, that like, he dies and he takes people's powers, so he could just do that to Sailor Moon. I'm like, I don't know how that works, but maybe.
Sure.
That's what I said. I'm like, sure.
Sure. No, yeah. No, acceptable enough.
Exactly, right? I was like, sure, dude. I don't know if that power works in the universe only, or if it's like I would have to research that, and I'm not going to spend time researching that because I have other stuff to do.
No, yeah, agreed.
But I think that's why everyone wants to pay Goku up against people.
I mean, I think it's totally reasonable. Like, I'm not claiming, like I said, I wouldn't put Sailor Moon in the top 100, I don't think either. So I think it's totally reasonable. At least not anime Sailor Moon. She's way stronger in the manga. But like anime Sailor Moon, I don't think she'd crack top 100 either.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, like Goku's just like he's very recognizable. So people just like they know that he's like super strong and stuff like that. So everyone just wants to pit this character against everyone else who thinks they're strong. Like, I'm surprised there's not more videos about it. Like, I see discussions about it online all the time. Like, who would win a fight? This person, Goku. Who would you, if you could pick 4, who would it be? Oh, mine would definitely be Goku. Like, every time, and I see like people in the like the list of like people they would have on a team or whatever. I'm like, there's way better choices than just Goku here. But I mean, that's me though. I'm starting to have a more broader spectrum when it comes to power levels now, because we started doing Fight Club and like other stuff now too. So I mean, yeah, he's strong, but
he's strong. I'm not going to deny he's not strong.
But is he godlike? Is he top tier? No, he's not.
Literally not godlike. No, he's not.
He might have Super Saiyan God in his title, but I mean, whatever.
Yeah, it's a very phoned-in version of divinity, though.
Exactly. Yeah, he's only divine somewhat.
Yeah,
so,
he's like a demigod.
Yeah. But I mean, that's my take on that. I mean, it's just the recognizability of the character. People know who he is. Like, I mean, people even know who voices fucking Goku, for crying out loud. Like, and I'll be like, oh yeah, do you know this voice actor? They'll be like, no. I'd be like, oh well, he does this, and I'd be like, oh yeah. But Sean Shamil does Goku.
Yes. Yeah. No, that's fair, and I would agree that I think it's a recognition thing. Yeah. But that actually brings me to like part 2 of this, which is stop. Stop! You're embarrassing yourself at this point.
Yeah.
So to explain what prompted this this specific discussion, when I was as a bit of a setup, when I was researching Goku versus Sailor Moon, I came across a fight which was Goku versus Reimu Hakurai from the Toho project, and I saw that matchup and went, what the fuck? What the fuck is that matchup? That's so goddamn random. And then I fucking... So I like the thing about like Reimu Hakurai versus Goku is it's like he couldn't hit her. Like physically, he cannot hit her. Who knows who Reimu Hakurai is and thinks that's a fucking matchup that works and makes sense for anyone?
I don't know.
It's like, literally, what would he do?
I mean, I have no idea who she is because, you know, I'm a normie.
Because you never played Toho, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a normie, but I'm starting to branch out, especially doing this podcast. I'm branching out a little more. I'm watching different stuff.
Okay, well, Reimu Hakurai is the main character of the Toho video game series. It's like a bullet hell video game series.
Is that the one you told me to play? I think you were mentioning it, right?
Maybe. I've played it a few times on stream before, especially Subterranean Animism, because I fucking love that game. Although Reimu isn't the canonical character for Subterranean Animism, but she's in the game anyway as playable character.
She definitely got some isms.
Oh, no, that's not Reimu.
Oh, it's not? Well, whoever that is.
Yeah, I would show you a picture of Reimu. Can you pull up?
I have this. Yeah, 1 second. Hold on. Yeah. For context.
Yeah,
how do you spell her name? How do you? What's her name? I can just look it up.
Reimu. Honestly, you can probably just type in Reimu.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's the Windows 98 version. Or PC 98 version. Yeah, okay, that's Reimu Hakurai. So, she has a bunch of powers, but I think most notably for a Goku matchup is she has the ability to float. above reality. Which means Goku cannot physically interact with her.
Okay.
So how the fuck would he beat her?
I don't know. Personally.
She can hit him. He can't hit her. That's not a matchup.
I mean, if you can float above reality, I mean, you're basically...
He floats above reality.
I mean...
What the fuck is he gonna do?
Not much.
Punch her. Cool. It goes through. Oh, Kamehameha. It goes through. Oh. Huh. Solar flare. Cool. It went through.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
Who the fuck is that matchup? For the record, every time I see one of these stupid-ass matchups, I correctly see someone point out, this is a stupid fucking matchup.
It is, yeah, people will pick Goku against anyone. Like, I saw, what was it? I think it was Dr. Doom versus Goku, like somebody was talking about, and I was like, why? Like, why is that even a thing? Like, who in the right mind woke up one day and like, wonder if Goku and Dr. Doom would how that fight would go? I've never thought, like, I've never once said, okay, if I'm gonna pick Goku against anyone in the Marvel universe, it would be fucking Dr. Doom. It would probably be Sentry, if anyone. Like, that would probably be my pick. It'd probably be Sentry.
I actually don't know enough about Dr. Doom to know what would happen in that scenario.
It's a toss up, like, because Dr. Doom can do whatever the fuck he wants. It also depends, because like he's had the Infinity.
Doom does what he pleases.
Basically, yeah, like he's had the Infinity Stones. I'm pretty sure he had Galactus' powers at one point. Like,
oh yeah, he merged with like a cosmic cube and had the powers of Molecule Man.
Yeah, so like,
I assume when people mean this character versus this character, they mean like basic bitch, like regular version of them, not this character with at their like height of their ability when they're like have all these temporary power ups.
Well, I mean, if we're talking base Doctor Doom versus base Goku, it's definitely Goku at that point, because Doctor Doom is just a guy in a fucking metal suit at that point who has like technopath abilities. Like, what is that gonna do? Nothing. Like, we already fought fucking... Who's Doctor Doom? What?
From Fantastic Four.
Yeah, like metal guy, green cape, tyrant of Latveria, all that stuff. Real world.
Yeah.
He's more of a tyrant though.
He's a sorcerer.
Yeah, he's an everyman. Actually, he's not just a source. He's like, that motherfucker can do whatever the fuck he wants at one point. And like,
he shoots where he pleases.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna go. He's like, fuck him. Anyways, he's a good character. I like Dr. Doom.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people are Apache, so that's fun.
So like obviously, you know, when I was a big One Punch Man fan when I was reading the One Punch Man manga, and I was really excited when the anime came out, but then everybody was like Saitama versus Goku, and I'm like,
yeah, I remember that.
The fuck prompted this?
Just because there was a new kid on the block, they're like, what about this guy? Because he's called One Punch Man, so would he beat Goku in one punch?
Would he beat Goku in one punch? Yeah, I guess.
I mean, who knows?
Stupid. For the record, I can do all of these very quickly. No, Goku cannot beat Reimu. Even if her damage is under what his durability can withstand, the fact is she can just throw trillions of paper at him until he just dies of a paper cut, and he can't physically harm her in any way through any method. He has no way of hurting her at all, and she'll wear him down eventually because she can throw a paper through a sun.
Yeah, this is a Fight Club speed run right now. Okay, next one.
Fight Club speed run. Goku versus Saitama is a lot harder, and this is why I will not accept Saitama as a fucking Fight Club character. The problem is, Saitama has never fought seriously in any of his fights, ever. He's never gotten anywhere close to it. The original translation that I read for his, like, serious punch that he uses against, like, Boros is the not-so-serious punch. So he can, like, alter the fucking atmosphere of a planet by half-assing it. Like, and I know they translate it to the serious punch, but even Boros points out after he did it that Saitama's like, yeah, I really had to try. Boros is like, you fucking liar, you didn't have to try to do that. But yeah, Boros' attack is capable of destroying the entire solar system, which makes it on par with Super Perfect Cell, Super Kamehameha, which means the highest feat we can scale Saitama to is Super Perfect Cell. So from what we've seen from Saitama, can he beat Goku? No. But we don't know what Saitama can do. He hasn't fought anyone seriously.
Yeah. So, which also leads me to believe, like, if he did fight Goku in whatever context, he wouldn't fight him seriously either.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah. And who knows?
I mean, Goku's at this point is so much above Super Perfect Cell that, like, I don't know. But the problem is we cannot, like, people are so, like, confident being like, of course Goku would beat Saitama. Goku's feats are better. And it's like, yeah, Goku's feats are better, but you don't know what fucking Saitama's got.
Yeah. Pacha brings up a good point. They probably wouldn't even fight at all. They'd probably just, like, eat some, like, ramen or some shit.
Oh, no, 90% of these characters would never fucking fight. Like, I could see a fucking Goku versus Dr. Doom fight. I don't see Reimu getting out of bed long enough to beat Goku's ass.
I can never see Goku versus Dr. Doom. It doesn't make any sense contextually wise. Like, unless, like, Dr. Doom was just multiverse hopping or some shit like that, and he just happened to be in Dragon Ball Land. He does do that a lot, so I mean, it could happen. Whatever. I don't write the manga. I don't write comics. It could happen. Who knows? DC and Marvel did a thing once that happened, so who knows?
Yeah. But yeah, like, no, none of these characters would fight. Reimu would never get out of bed long enough to fight Goku.
Yeah, like
unless he started fucking with her shrine, I'm sure it wouldn't have come up.
So I think the moral of the story,
if he was just randomly walking through the woods and she saw him and she was bored that day, because she's also beating the fuck out of people just because she was bored.
We've all been there.
Yeah,
we've all been there.
Oh, hey, it's a person walking through the woods. I'm gonna fuck up their whole day and steal their book.
I'm gonna fucking fight them. So I think the moral of the story is stop pinning Goku against everyone.
Right, yes. But here's what I'll say, because I'm not done yet. I know you want me to be done. This has upset me.
All right, let's go.
Because this is what triggered this rant, for real. This is the actual trigger. Is I was minding my own business on YouTube, and I saw this fucking picture right here that is on this screen.
Yeah.
Medaka Kurokami from my second favorite manga of all time, Medaka Box, versus Son Goku. And my immediate thought was, who the fuck knows who Medaka is and thought this was a good idea?
That's what you get for minding your own business, Zach. What? We've talked about this.
Knows who these characters are and still thinks Goku is who they should be going up against. So I watched the video out of pure fucking rage.
Like I got off you because you were pissed.
Yes.
Was it at least well put together?
Oh no, they were right.
Oh, okay.
They correctly point out that Medaka would kill Goku in literally 100 different ways. The number of ways Medaka could kill Goku is basically just a listing of every power she owns.
All right.
But it's like, who the fuck has read Medaka Box and thinks this is a matchup that made sense? Like,
content.
I'm just going to give you 3 of her abilities.
Okay.
Real quick, John. Just like, she has, like, I think 300 or something. But I'm going to give you 3 of them. One of her abilities is called Scar Dead, where she can, I believe she can do this with a thought. She can cause any wound you've ever suffered in your entire life to reopen.
What the fuck?
Goku's died 3 times.
Game over. Game over right there.
Literally, she would look at him and be like, all right, Goku, let's fight. And Goku going like, oh, God, this special again.
He would blow up. He got that.
Just pop.
He would crack his head on that rock when he was kid again. Like, there'd be so many.
Like, the more you fought, the more fucked you are against Medaka.
Maybe one. That's a good One Punch Man right there. There you go. Has he ever suffered an internal energy? Like, I think we found it.
Saitama?
Yeah.
Hasn't his body been remade several times? He almost. I mean, even if we use Tournament of Power, this was the image that was used in the thumbnail, he got sucked into a black hole and almost died, and only lived because Frieza gave him some energy.
That's true.
So, so it doesn't matter. He'd die no matter what.
Yeah, that is true.
Oh, okay. Here's another ability. She has an ability called Bookmaker, which reduces your power level to her power level. So then she can power up from Bookmaker to make herself guaranteed stronger than you.
That's a pretty OP power.
It was actually the original owner of that ability was even more broken because he was called the weakest man in the world.
So is Yamcha.
No, it was Misogi Kubigawa. Another ability she got is called All Fiction, which is defined as the ability to turn anything into nothing. Which, to clarify, means she can just erase shit from existence.
Okay.
She can erase the universe from existence. She can erase color, your eyesight, death, metaphysical concepts, anything she fucking wants. She could just look at Goku and be like, okay, you're gone now. And then he's gone now.
And that's it. That's the whole fight.
The only limitation for All Fiction is that she can't bring things back with it.
That's interesting.
But if you're trying to kill someone, it doesn't fucking matter.
That is also true, yeah.
But, you know, those are some of her more insane abilities. Now, Medaka has the ability to, like, copy powers. That's why she has so many crazy powers. She just stole them from people.
Fair enough, yeah.
So let's look at her actual ability. What is Medaka's actual power? Her actual power is called the End. It allows her to copy someone's ability to 120% of its usage.
Okay.
She sees the person use the power, and then she instantly masters it to absolute perfection.
Okay.
Instantly. And it's actually worse than that, because she can do it to powers she's heard about.
Okay.
She doesn't have to have it used on her like Prodigy. She doesn't have to like see it happen. She can literally be told, this character can do this thing. And she'd be like, cool, I'm now better at it than them.
Well, that certainly is a amazing ability.
I believe the limitation is that she can't turn that off, but it doesn't matter. Is she a Mary Sue? She's a deconstruction of the Mary Sue. But yes, she clearly intended to be it. Medaka Box is written by Nisio Oyasin, who also did the famous Monogatari series, which is an absolutely amazing anime series. So here's the point. Ignoring the fact that she has auto reflexes anyway, if she were to enter a fight with Master Ultra Instinct Goku, who hasn't really mastered Ultra Instinct, she would look at him right when the fight starts, and then Goku would all of a sudden, out of nowhere, be fighting a fucking angel. Okay. Because she would copy it.
Done deal.
Who the fuck thought this was a good idea?
Somebody.
Medaka lost 2 fights, by the way, in the entire manga. So there is a way for Goku to beat her. It was pointed out that Medaka never dodges the first attack in a fight ever.
Okay.
So they managed to beat her by sealing her in like turn 1.
Okay.
So technically Goku could beat her if he used the Mafuba right at the start of the fight. However, when has Goku ever used the Mafuba at the start of a fight?
Not a single fucking time.
Literally never. Even when they got a fucking bottle to use Mafuba to go fight Zamasu, and he's like, I'm going to go use the Mafuba on Zamasu. He still didn't open the fight with the Mafuba. He was like, but what if I can do it?
I mean, you're not wrong.
And the second you think, but what if I can beat her in a fist fight? You will put yourself to like 1,000 different. Oh, also, she can just give you diseases. All of them. She can give you any disease and all of the diseases at once. She can just cause a heart attack.
Well,
it's such a stupid matchup.
People just want their stuff, you know?
Yes, I don't fucking know. Oh, for the record, in all credit to the person that made the video, they pointed this out. And I think the point of the video was to show how fucking busted she is as a character. For the longest time, like, the whole Medaka Box universe was just, like, banned off of Versus Wiki. And they're allowed back on now, but all of their power rankings are completely wrong. So, yeah, it's not a matchup. None of these are matchups. We get her to see one of the, someone using one of those double-edged sword abilities, like an ability that if you master it, it kills you. Okay, but then she can use all fiction to not die, and then use her ability 100 Gauntlets to edit the ability so that it doesn't kill her.
Well, that's.
Oh, yeah, she can edit her abilities with 100 Gauntlet.
Okay. So, I mean, that kind of just... Goku's just fucked. So.
Yeah, I don't understand these matchups. The point of this was, it's like, I don't get these matchups. These aren't real fights. Like, Goku is strong, don't get me wrong. And, like, feats-wise, like, the biggest thing Medaka ever, like, killed was a moon or something. But, like, it doesn't matter. You can just look at her power set and be like, Goku can't do anything about this. He's Punchman. And it's like, the easiest way to tell if Goku can beat someone in a fight is to figure out, can Goku beat it just by punching it to death?
You're not wrong, yeah.
If the answer is no, there's a good chance he won't win.
Yeah, that's true, because like Goku does have like a lot of help in this series with a lot of things. He wouldn't have beat Kid Buu without the help of Vegeta and everyone in the fucking universe, basically.
Yeah.
So, like, there's that. Like, he wouldn't have beaten...
Excuse me.
He wouldn't have beaten Frieza if Krillin didn't fucking die and it pissed him off. He wouldn't have beat Raditz without Piccolo. He wouldn't have beat Vegeta without the help of Gohan and Krillin. Like, literally, if you think about it, he hasn't won a fight basically by himself, except for maybe Hit. Any of the tournament fights. That's about it. Like, those are the only times he's ever really won by himself.
I don't know. I would say he got pissed off, but I don't think getting pissed off counts as help for Frieza. I think he beat Frieza legit.
Okay, I'll give you that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my whole gripe with that is like, if Krillin didn't die, he would never have became Super Saiyan and had enough power to beat Frieza. Because if Frieza was like, oh well, fuck this guy, I'm just gonna go 100%, he would have obliterated base Goku.
Oh yeah,
that's
for sure.
That's my thought of that. But I mean, I can't think of a fight literally where there wasn't like I'll say an instance where like something happened except for a tournament fight.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair.
I will actually, if we're gonna bring GT into this, he did beat Baby by himself, technically.
But he had his mind taken over by Baby, and he only got out of it because of Pan.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. See, so there we go. Yeah. 17 then, Super 17.
I barely remember anything about that arc
because it's 5 episodes long. That's why.
There we go.
It's literally 5 episodes long, and it's probably like my favorite arc in the game. Or WoW in the game, that series, just because it's like it's super.
Let's be honest.
It's super short, but the whole sending him to hell and like seeing like some of his old stuff, it's pretty cool. Yeah, Pacha's right. Anyways, next topic. I think.
One thing I will say: Medaka ran in the same manga as Dragon Ball, by the way.
Oh, really?
She is a Shonen Jump character. Yep, she even appears in Jumpstar's Victory vs. Plus.
Oh no shit! That was the PlayStation 4 one. Or was that
The
PSP?
PlayStation 3 one. Yeah, they released a new version, like a new like Jumpstars game, where they like expanded the cast from like the more popular series, but they took out some of the like more obscure characters. I say obscure. I think like Medaka Box got like 300 chapters or something, but like, but yeah, like they took out like a bunch of other characters, including Medaka. So I didn't buy it. Because I wasn't going to buy that game without Medaka.
So, good thing you didn't, because Jump Force was one of the worst fighting games I've ever played in my life.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I bought that game on launch. Number one, doesn't come dubbed. I didn't know that. I didn't know that when I bought that, so I was already disappointed in that. Number two, had some of the worst fucking fight controls I've ever seen. Number three, terrible lag in some of the fights, and the frame rate drops like a motherfucker. And 5, it was just not a good game. They had a really good group of characters, I'll say that, but piss poor execution part. They're still updating with DLC somehow too.
Well, Versus Plus, like Jumpstars had an even better cast, I would argue, because it had fucking Medaka in it.
Fair.
But, and it had more characters. It had like Joseph even.
Joseph.
But it's like Joestar.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I do like Jotaro was cool, but I would have rathered either Joseph or Jonathan.
I think it might have had also Jonathan.
That's pretty dope. I'll have to play
I don't know.
It's on PS3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's not good. It's actually terrible.
Oh, okay. No.
It just had a better cast of characters. Because it had more characters from more diverse series.
Yeah, Jump Force was like literally like the popular like shonen.
Yeah, it was just like, here's our biggest, most popular characters.
Yeah,
and I'm like, okay, but like, I don't know, Medaka Box got like 200 chapters or something, 300 chapters. How many chapters did it get? I don't fucking know. Where's Medaka?
I want to say it had, with DLC,
and Beelzebub also.
Speedwagon is the best JoJo character, and Mate is right. I do love Speedwagon. Yeah, I think it had like, with DLC, it had 8 to 10 DBZ characters. I believe 8 Naruto characters.
That's too many fucking characters. Nobody cares.
7 One Piece characters.
194 chapters for Medaka Box.
And then the rest of them had like JoJo had the 1K. He just had Jotaro. You just had Gon. No, I think you had Gon and the clown guy. I can never remember his fucking name.
Hisoka?
Yeah, Hisoka. I believe Hisoka was also a playable character. You had like 1 or 2 from each other ones. Like it was like the big 3 just had like the most characters, which is obviously, but
Pache's trying to figure out a way to take out Medaka, I think. Can I kill her with Black Rose? I don't know what that is. But there is one fight in that game, I will say, before we go on to the next topic about Medaka, just while she's up on screen, where in one of the story modes, I was playing like the Ichigo story mode, I think, where the idea is that there's like this like big tournament, and you have to defeat like the tournament proctor or something. And the tournament proctor, one of the tournament proctors was Medaka, and Vegeta showed up.
Of course he did.
And he was also participating in the tournament, and it was your like 3 party members, and like Vegeta was there, and Medaka's and Vegeta's like, well, I don't want to share my fight with anyone, and Medaka's like, well, I have an idea, Vegeta. How about you and I team up and we fight this team, and then if we win, we'll fight each other. And my immediate thought was, I'm sorry, you want me to go up against Medaka and Vegeta at the same time? There is no one who can fucking win that fight. There is no one. What kind of matchup is that?
The Mate is also.
I mean, you win because it's a video game, but like, if this was a real like fight, what the fuck is that matchup?
Yeah. The Mate is also correct. The big 3 are also Metallica, Megadeth, and Slayer. So, and they've never been in a fighting game, to my knowledge.
It's a biochem weapon in Final Fantasy XIV. It freezes the flow of A through the energy of anything it touches, rendering it dead. I mean, it might kill her, but I don't think it would stop her from living, if that makes sense.
Fair.
Because you can use all fiction to make it so that death isn't a thing that happens.
Death is just the beginning.
Yeah, this isn't real anymore.
And
I decided it's not real.
Speaking of death, that brings us to our next topic, which is kind of an interesting segue. Um, Army of the Dead, the new Zack Snyder film that just came out. You didn't watch it, did you?
No,
All
I
right.
did not.
So the way
I hear it wasn't good.
So I've seen it twice. I watched it by myself at work, and then I watched it with the lady friend, like a week later, or something like that. This movie is all right. It's not great, but it's not bad. It's good to see Zack Snyder really have control over what he puts out. I thought that was like a really cool thing. Like the Netflix didn't say, "Look, well, you need to put this and this in." He had complete creative control, and you can definitely see that he did because there's some stuff in it. I'm going to go into spoilers just because you kind of can't talk about this movie without a little spoilers. So I hope nobody really cares about spoilers. I don't think anyone does, judging by the chat. But
It's got Batista in it.
it does have Batista, which he is the best part of the movie, hands down. He turned down Suicide Squad, the new James Gunn one, for this movie, and I think it was a good call because he is really good in this movie. It's probably like the best role I've seen him in. Because I think
they want him to have like John Cena's role.
I believe that's what he was going. I think he was going to be Peacemaker. I'm not entirely sure. But he turned down Suicide Squad in order to do this movie. And I think it really benefits from having Batista in it. So the whole plot of this movie is in the beginning a alpha zombie, because there are alpha zombies in this world, and I'll get more into that. Gets loose from a military crate that's being transported from. Damn, you watch a movie? What kind of job do you have where you can watch an entire movie? I'm the boss, so I literally can sit back and do this. I watch a lot. I watch the entire anime for the podcast tonight at work. Really nice. I work at T-Mobile. Yeah. So the entire plot of this movie, they're transporting a alpha zombie from Area 51. So I can see where you kind of see where this kind of goes a little bit, to an unknown location, because they don't get there because a girl and a guy in a car. The guy is getting roadhead, and he smacks into the the truck that's bringing the zombie. Which I was like, this is a fitting beginning to this movie. Death by blowjob. Anyways, so the alpha zombie obviously gets out, and he starts causing havoc, and he bites people. And when this alpha zombie bites people, it creates other alpha zombies. More on that later. The alpha zombie's a little bit smarter, faster, stronger. You know, it's just like the DK rep. He's bigger, he's better, he's faster, stronger, and he's also a monkey, all that stuff.
Wait, if an alpha zombie bites you and makes another alpha zombie, why is everything not alpha zombies?
Hold on. Only the alpha zombie can create alpha zombies, like the OG one. So the original one can create alpha zombies. Yes, I know. I can see by your face. So when he creates those zombies, if they bite you, you become a regular zombie. Okay, you become just a dumbie. That's what I'll call it.
Almost seems like the progenitor zombie's not really an alpha zombie. Then it's its own type of zombie.
He's like the OG. He's like the king. You know, the king knights the zombies he wants to become alpha zombies, basically. So
yeah.
So he's like the OG, you know. His name is Zeus in the movie. They don't call him Zeus because that's kind of stupid, but for whatever reason, like, he's Zeus. That's his name, but they don't call him that. But whatever, it doesn't matter. In the credits, his name is Zeus. He's called that because in the beginning he looks up at a statue of Zeus and whatever. They end up making
That's how I choose to name all of my things.
Just by looking.
The first thing they look at, that's your name.
Okay, I'm gonna look at this, and now I'm Michael Jordan from Space Jam.
That's why I named my god niece Soda.
So yeah, anyway, so this happens outside of Las Vegas. So they take over the entire city of Las Vegas. The army comes in, obviously fails, but they somehow secure the zombies inside the city of Las Vegas using shipping containers, which I don't know how that works, but plot. Anyways, the zombies are officially trapped in Las Vegas. I also
don't know how they failed to kill the zombies, for the record.
Oh, they got overrun. Who knows? You know, it's a zombie movie. I don't know.
Zombie movies are so stupid.
Yeah. Then all newborns would be named V, no? I mean, they might be. When I first heard about this movie, I was like, dang, George Romero became a zombie and is back making dead movies. Then I saw Zack Snyder and was disappointed. Fair enough.
I mean, if we can reanimate the corpse of George Romero to make another zombie movie, I'd watch that movie. I haven't seen any of the other movies, but I'd watch it anyway.
So I was going to talk about this now. So there is one more Romero movie coming out. Apparently, he wrote a brand new movie before he died. I can't remember what it was called. I was reading about this a couple days ago. So he wrote a script. His family is producing it, and he's going to have one last one come out, and it's the one to it's going to end the entire of the Dead trilogy or whatever, or the Dead trilogy we'll call it, or not trilogy because it's more than three. You know what I mean? The saga. So that is actually happening, but they did not reanimate him, fortunately, because then we'd have more zombies, and that's how it works. Anyways, back to this movie. So Batista was in the city while this was all going on. He and his family get out. Unfortunately, his wife becomes a zombie and he has a capper. The daughter does not like that, obviously, but whatever. So that's where it kind of creates tension between father and daughter stuff, which I thought was pretty interesting, but I'm also a dad and I have a daughter, so that's probably why I gravitate more to those types of stories. That's why Ant-Man is one of my favorite MCU movies, because I have shit like that. But besides the point, so the owner of one of the casinos, I cannot remember, is Tanaka, who's played by the same guy who does Scorpion in the new Mortal Kombat movie. I don't know his name off the top of my head. I probably should have pulled up all this stuff on IMDb beforehand, but I'm really bad at my job sometimes. I'll do that right now. So he comes to him with a proposition like, hey, if you can get a team together, there is $200 million, or no, 300. I think it's $300 million in a safe underneath my casino. You can have half of it if you can get it and get a team together and stuff like that. I only need 150 because I already made money back, all that money back from insurance. Which I'm like, okay, that's not how it works, but all right. So he obviously accepts because he's working at a burger joint, blah blah blah. He gets his team together, which is comprised of a couple different people, which I'm pulling up the thing right now. 1 second. What?
Did we actually need the actor list for this?
I can't remember the names off the top of my. Oh, they changed IMDb. Anyways, I just want to for their names in the movie more so than the actors.
Oh, okay.
Because I cannot for the life of me. So you have Vanderho, who's one of the tough guys. He's actually a very good character. He was a philosopher major before this whole zombie shit happened. You have Maria, who was
bad choice.
Fair enough. Maria, they don't really tell any of her backstory really, but she has a thing for Scott, who's Dave Bautista's character. Then you have Dieter, who is the safecracker, who's a German guy. He's literally has a boner for safes and stuff like that. And the most interesting is Tig Notaro's character, which is Marianne Peters, who actually replaced Chris D'Elia, who was originally in this movie, but Chris D'Elia got unfortunately caught with some bad stuff. We'll say there was some SA stuff on there, but anyways, we don't really need to get into that. But she was digitally inserted into this movie via green screen, and honestly, it's some of the best shit I've ever seen. But why couldn't they do that with Superman's mustache?
Budget.
They put a whole fucking person into a movie, but they can't fucking fix a fucking mustache. Just saying.
Yeah, well.
On the team also you have Mikey Guzman, who's some YouTuber guy that's good at trick shots, so they bring him for backup and stuff like that. And you also have Tanaka's head of security, Martin, who's obviously going to be up to some shady shit. So basically they go into Vegas with this team. They have to get snuck in by his daughter because she knows how to get in. And that's when you meet this other girl, Lily, who's also called the Coyote, who actually has been into the city since there's been the whole zombie outbreak, so she knows her way around. She kind of knows the rules of the place too, and there are rules apparently in the the zombie city, which we'll get to in just a second. So they sneak into there. They take a guard that's actually at the quarantine base. Bert, who goes in. He's kind of a douchebag and like a rapist. I say that? I don't know. We'll find out. And so, anyways, they go into this place, team fully loaded, and the first thing that you see as soon as they get in there is a fucking zombie tiger, which looks great, which apparently was more expensive than CGI a person out and then putting another person in. But it looks fantastic. His name's Valentine. The whole backstory, it's Siegfried and Roy's tiger, which makes sense for the context. They're in fucking Vegas. Of course, there would be a zombie tiger, I guess. That's just a thing.
Yeah.
That's the only zombie animal here. What happened to the rest of them? That's what I want to know. They probably got eaten. I don't know.
So the issue with zombie
animals
is
everything.
Is that you very quickly realize that if there are zombie animals and the zombie plague can spread to animals, zombie humans suddenly reach the bottom of the food chain.
Right? Like, that was the whole...
The second zombie dog occurs, everyone's fucked.
Zombie dog? Zombie birds? Like, can you imagine, like, a fucking, like, raven or, like, an owl or an eagle or some shit? Like a vulture?
I've actually thought about this. If it can spread outside of mammals, there is a definitive everyone is fucking dead animal.
Yeah. What is
zombie mosquito?
I don't think that. I don't know. How would they?
No, I'm just saying, like, if it can spread to anything, zombie mosquito is it. That's it. That's game over for everything.
I feel like insects, since they have a different type of physiology, like, I think it would be a little bit different.
It's a magic fucking voodoo plague.
I don't know. This is not a voodoo plague, and I'll get to that in a second.
No, I'm just saying, like, most, the answer to most, like, zombie stories is that it's humans only. Or, like, humans and, like, one other animal, and then they can, like, study the other animal. Like, most of them don't want to get into the plague can hit this or that or this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, like, the second you start introducing more animals to the zombie plague, like, zombie insects, that's it. That's game over.
Yeah. Like, can you imagine zombie spiders?
I mean, zombie spiders wouldn't be as bad as, like, zombie mosquitoes or zombie ants.
That's true, yeah.
They're coming at all times.
Yeah, zombie. Well, it is technically zombie ants already, but that's like a whole other thing for a different day.
Sure, but they can't infect people.
No, they just have a fungus thing. That's the story to The Last of Us, but that's different.
Yeah, cordyceps.
Yeah. Okay. Apparently, Resident Evil has all that. Zombie shark, zombie moth. Which I don't know how a moth would be threatening, but. That's whatever. Zombie dogs, scary. Zombie worms, sure. I mean, I guess if they were blood worms or hookworms,
it works in Resident Evil because the zombie virus, like the T virus, is not transmitted through biting. It's transmitted through, I think, like death and biting or some shit. Like, you get bit all the time in Resident Evil, and you just don't turn into a fucking zombie. So
yeah, and it's also like an airborne virus too. So that's like another, like the original OG, like thing was like an airborne thing, so I mean it could potentially like the T virus.
Is the T virus airborne? I don't think that's true.
Yeah, it was like wasn't it like a?
If it was, I don't know why they didn't just flood the fucking mansion.
I don't know. I think I'm going based off the movies. You know, I haven't played the games.
Okay, well, if you're going based off the movies, yeah, because it's like if they wanted to turn everyone in the fucking mansion to viruses, I would have just like flooded the Spencer mansion with like aerosol. Then zombies and RE are canonically living. Oh yeah, that's right. They have like super cancer.
Neat.
Yeah.
Silent Hill had the giant worm that you fight in a mall, and the place is pitch black, and you can't see anything outside. You're like, ugh, no thanks.
That is true.
Anyways, back to the movie.
That fight's actually not that hard, if I remember right.
I never. Spoiler alerts. Never played Silent Hill.
Yeah, you're fine with not. Actually, I will say Silent Hill 2, legitimately good game.
Fair.
Would recommend it.
Silent Hill has been on my list of games.
It's just like cool thing in Silent Hill 2 where depending on how you play the game, like you get a different ending. Like it's not like binary choices like, oh, I went the blue route or oh, I went the red route. It's like organically decided what ending you get depending on your play style.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, more games need that.
Isn't it like tanky controls though, like Resident Evil?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, see, that's why I probably won't.
I don't fucking remember. No, wait, Silent Hill 2? I don't know. It might be analog. I genuinely don't know.
What the fuck?
Tank controls don't bother me enough for me to know.
Yeah, that looks like a Bloodborne.
Alternative controls are where I'm like, this is unplayable.
All right, back to the movie. So yeah, so then they kind of after that, they see the tiger. Then, the coyote who goes into like kind of like the rules. They said in order to make passage, we have to offer a sacrifice. So this is where your first death comes, and they kill those dickbag security guard guy that's been terrorizing women in the quarantine zone, which makes sense. You know, if you're a fucking dickbag, you're gonna get tossed to the wolves, and in this case, zombies. So they do that, and then
sacrifice Coyote Man.
Okay, yeah. So fuck. So she knows all the rules to this place, and she tells them that they have to make a sacrifice in order to proceed because it's their world. You know, they have to abide by the zombies' rules because they have rules.
It's our world down here in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
It's their world over there.
I'm the grabby guy. Not in that context. I respect all ladies. Zombie bats. God damn it. So let's just say that Resident Evil has every type of zombie animal they could think of.
And several they couldn't.
Fair enough. So yeah, she says you have to make a sacrifice. So obviously, dickbag security guard that's been terrorizing the women in the quarantine. She shoots him in the leg and makes him the sacrifice. She ties him up. And this is kind of where you learn about like the hierarchy that they have in the community of zombies, because there's thing. Also, before I get to the next one, they also mention when they walk in, they see a whole bunch of they call like the regular zombie shamblers in this movie, which I think is an interesting name because they kind of do
just call them zombies.
Yeah. Well, no, they call them zombies like in the actual movie, but they call like the reggies like shamblers, which they kind of do shamble bouts, so that makes sense. There's piles of them like outside the wall that are just like dried out to like a fucking nothing, and they mention, oh hey, if it rains these things come back to life, but it never happens, and I hated that because that would have been cooler to see if it did, because they just have
gun that they did just leave over the mantle.
Yeah, I that was like the biggest. There's a couple cock teases in this movie, and that was like the first one because they're like, yeah, if it rains, like these things will come back to life. I'm like, yo, that's gonna happen later, is it? No, it doesn't. Spoiler alerts. Never happens. Cool concept. Never happens though. So yeah, then so this is kind of where you learn about the hierarchy. So the queen zombie comes out and accepts his sacrifice. The queen zombie and king zombie, you know, they're together. They love each other. They do. It's kind of weird. Literally. So she accepts the sacrifice, drags him back to the place where they all live, because they have a place where they live. It's in the Olympus Casino Resort and Hotel.
God damn it.
Because he's Zeus.
I know.
So he sees the statue. But anyways, yeah. So they drag him off there. So this is kind of where you see like what happens in this place. He gets dragged in, and big dick zombie king comes in, and you know he gives like his lady a kiss, kind of, not really a kiss, a kind of like nose nuzzle. It's weird. And then he puts his ear to her belly, and he goes, ah, yeah, because she's pregnant. The zombie is pregnant. They procreate in this movie. Thank you, Zack Snyder, for not making me watch a scene where zombies fuck.
Oh, is that not in there?
It is not in there, and thank you for that, because I do not want to see that.
You should read Sanka Ray.
No, thank you.
Look, it's the sexiest zombie feeding you've ever seen. I'll say that.
I think there comes to a point where it's like, this is weird. I don't want to see this, and I think that's why he's like, there's things I could put in this movie and things that I shouldn't. Thank you for not putting that in there. I really don't think we needed a flashback scene where the two zombies are just fucking, you know? it wouldn't make like sense in the context, like just like the whole like ear to the belly thing, and like yeah, she's pregnant, you know, that's cool. So then that's kind of where you find out that anyone he bites becomes like the smart zombies, because this place is full with zombies, but they're all intelligent zombies. They're kind of acting kind of like a culty thing almost, like everyone's like kind of huddled around. They bring this live person and they don't even try to eat him and shit too, which I thought was interesting. So they do have rules. They have like a system, I guess. The king picks and chooses who becomes like an alpha zombie to live amongst the clan, which I thought was an interesting concept. You know, we haven't seen that yet, so I mean, this is cool. So moving right along, zombie shenanigans. They go into a place filled with zombies. They play. Apparently, zombies hibernate now. So interesting concept again. Some of the security guard guy that works for the casino owner makes someone tail off. She gets lost. Zombies attack. That's when you get your first real big zombie action scene. Which can I just say this movie shot very well too. I like the way it's shot. Zack Snyder not only directed it, but he also did all the cinematography for it. And there's like 0 to no slow motion in this movie too. Like literally most of the slow motion is in the beginning sequence, with one of the best beginning sequences to any zombie movie I've ever seen. I'm going to throw that out there for everyone. I thought it was very well put. And that was the only real place where they had slow motion, and it worked because it's a fucking credit crawl. Well, not like a credit crawl, but like the opening credits. So I'll say that. Other than that, this movie's shot pretty nicely. There's obviously some choices, which I'm gonna get to, but you know, whatever. So yeah, zombies. You know, she gets overrun by zombies. Homie has to shoot her in the back. Which, can we stop shooting gas tanks in movies and having them explode ridiculously? Can we just have that? I knew that needs to stop, because I don't buy that for a bit.
That's your stop fighting Goku?
That is my
stop shooting gas tanks?
Because I see it so often in so many different movies, and it's not just zombie movies, it's action movies.
Have you seen 21 Jump Straight?
Probably, but it's probably been like forever.
There's a great joke in that where they're in a car chase and like a car flips over and they shoot a gas tank and it starts leaking gas and they just go, "Aw."
Exactly,
because it doesn't explode.
Because that's what would happen.
They're just like, "Oh."
But like in this movie, they all have gas packs on the back, because they gotta fill up a chopper and a generator at the casino, which contextually makes sense. But if you shoot something that's plastic, it's not gonna create any friction. It's gonna go right through it, and it's just gonna.
It's gonna create friction.
Not enough for a spark. I can understand maybe shooting a gas tank, you know, metal on metal creates as a spark, but I don't know. I'm tired of seeing that. I hate it. I'm done with it. Anyways, that happens. You know, they get to the casino, blah blah blah, and that's where you kind of start finding out like what this Martin guy, the security for Tanaka, is like up to. He wants to catch one of the alphas. So he enlists the help of the coyote to do that. I'm just gonna call her Lily because I hate calling her the coyote. That's kind of stupid. Anyway, her name is Lily. She's the girl character. She's very good in this movie. Actually, one of my favorite characters, aside from Dave Bautista's character and the daughter. The daughter and Bautista's character are very good. I also really like the Safecracker dude. But I'll get more on that when his scenes are the Safecracker dude's really only there for comedic relief for most of the movie until you get to like the actual safe, where he actually becomes relevant and important, because this guy's a giant pussy and he really doesn't do much. There's a really good part where he screams like a girl. I really like that, but whatever. The comedy hits when it hits, you know. But anyways, we get to the actual casino, and they notice that there's already blueprints there at one of the front desks. So it looks like somebody's already been here. So they start kind of being like, "Hey, we're not the first guys in here. How many people have been in here to get this money?" So they start going down. They find the safe. You know, Dieter does this thing to get the safe. They also have 3 traps, booby traps that they have to get through. This is kind of the part where shit kind of opens up. They get down to the safe, and they notice 4 skeletons like in front of the gate before they blow it up. So these people didn't make it past this gate, but the cinematography on this part is really cool because they show all the different skeletons, and each one of them is wearing something that the crew's wearing. And then at this time, like the philosophy guys kind of talking about like, well, what if we're in like a what is it? He doesn't say like alternate reality, but like a time loop, like where we get farther each time. Like each time we get farther into this place. So you're like, okay, that's an interesting concept because these people are all wearing the same shit. Like one of them has the necklace that one of the chicks were wearing. Dave Bautista has like this little like handkerchief around his neck. One of the skeletons wearing that, and I can't remember what the other skeleton man had. But anyways, back to the pressure plates. So they found out that it's pressure plates, which comes to like the first real funniest part. They're trying to lure a zombie to like the end of this hallway so they can kind of set off these traps. And for whatever reason, the brightest idea was let's put a zombie hand in the microwave and heat it up because apparently they're lured to the heat, which I guess makes sense. That's kind of why they don't fuck around with each other, I guess. I don't know. But I just thought the whole hand in the microwave concept was kind of weird and off-putting.
How do they sense heat?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. They're not snakes.
Okay.
The whole thing was like, well, they probably like their meat warm, right? I was like, sure, dude. Well, because they throw the hand down the hallway, like, or they throw one hand down the hallway, and like the zombie kind of is like, cool, and then turns around and tries to obviously get them. So then they heat it up, and then the new zombie is like, okay, cool, and then he goes through the traps. One of them's like poison darts, the next one's machine guns, and the other one's just like a wall that just smashes fucking shit. Cool. All while this is going on, Dave Bautista and his daughter are filling up the generator, and the pilot, who is Marianne, who is the CGI character in this, not really CGI, but the CGI into the movie character, is fixing the helicopter. Dave Bautista and his daughter have a nice little chat about why he's a shitty dad, why he hates her, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to get into that because I'm going to get into the meat and bones of this movie, not the other shit. So all the while, I also forgot to mention, this place is supposed to blow up on July 4th. So they technically, at the start of this, they had 3 days. Right before they actually get the safe open, they find out that it's actually going to get blown up in like 2 hours. Again, plot. Mm-hmm. Because the president says, we don't want the Independence Day to be remembered by we blew up a fucking city. I'm like, sure, dude. Sure. We're going to do this.
Okay.
All right, so then they have to kind of hustle and get everything. So they finally get the safe open. There's a shit ton of money. Everyone's having fun. Blah blah blah. They get the So all the while they're getting all the money together, Lily and the security guard guy are outside, trying to lure one of the alpha zombies. Sorry. So the queen comes over. He caps one of the other zombies that come with it because the queen always comes with the same zombie, which I thought was interesting. It was like the same guy from them earlier when she captures the other guy. And they get her, and then he cuts off her head, puts it in a bag, and basically says, Tanaka doesn't really care about the money that's in the safe. He cares more about this because this is basically a WMD. Like, this is worth more than anything in that vault. So you're kind of like, okay, so this guy's Tanaka is kind of a douchebag. There is a scene that I didn't bring up, that it shows when he calls Scott originally, be like, do you accept this job? He's like, yeah, and then he's like, got all military guys all around him. So the military obviously wants their shit back, basically. So yeah, they catch her, and this obviously pisses off the king guy because he goes and rides a zombie horse. He rides a zombie horse to where her body's just laying, takes the body back, and then pulls a unborn zombie fetus out of her stomach that is glowing blue.
Okay.
For whatever reason, it's glowing blue. Aliens. Aliens is the reason.
Yeah, I gathered.
But they don't ever talk about it. But in the beginning of the movie, when they're loading where they're coming out of Area 51, you kind of see 2 bright lights like whoosh off. So then it's kind of like your little like, hey, this movie has to do with aliens a little bit, and Alien Area 51. So yeah, obviously he gets pissed, and then he sends every single alpha zombie to the casino, and that's when like the real shit starts going on. Scott and what's her name, Maria, are having like a little heart to heart. And then door opens and she just gets her neck snapped, like literally turned around, and it's one of the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. Very accurate neck snap, because not only did her neck turn around, but the collarbone broke, and I thought that was a really good touch. I really like that, because that's exactly what would happen. And then fighting, shooting zombies, trying to get away with money. Dickbag security guard locks them all down in like a little shaft. It says "get fucked." Then he gets fucking annihilated by a zombie tiger, which I thought was really funny. It was a very accurate depiction of. They actually got Harold Baskins to actually describe a tiger attack and actually like base that into the movie, and it looked pretty damn good. Mm-hmm. But that's the only really thing that the zombie tiger does. Other than that, you don't see it ever again. But money, whatever. So yeah, the one guy dies. Before he dies, he shoots a zombie, and you see it kind of like light up, and the face is metal, and implicating that there are zombie robots.
Okay.
So I'm gonna fast forward a little bit because it's whatever. They get to the top of the roof. Scott realizes his daughter's not in the place anymore. She actually goes sneak off to go find her friend who went into the place the night prior, who got taken by that, which I completely forgot about. Then we kind of see them take off in the helicopter. Lily actually switched the head with a money counter machine, so he didn't get it, but he died anyway, so it didn't really matter. But she takes out the head, and he doesn't attack her for a second because he's like, "You got my lady's wife, but I already just ripped her body open, so I don't know what I'm gonna do with that." But it stops him for a second. They get away with the helicopter. Then he just fucking spears her like right in the fucking chest, and then gets really close to her because she drops the head off the side of the building. It's fucking tomato soups all over the place. And then it's implied that she gets bitten and probably becomes the next queen. Well, you never really see that. So there's like a lot of open-ended what happened with this shit in this movie. But
a lot of sequel bait, yeah.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, so I also forgot the part where psychology guy actually fist fights the fucking alpha zombie dude. By the way, the alpha zombie dude wears a fucking metal helmet type thing, a mask almost to cover his head. Which, how did he get that? Where did he get that? And what kind of metal is it that is stopping bullets? That's what I want to know.
Steel. I don't know. Actually, yeah, you'd have to have a pretty thick mask to stop bullets, wouldn't you?
I mean, it looks thick, but I mean, these things like just ricochet off it, and I don't get it. But he literally fist fights this dude. Obviously loses because the zombie's way stronger than him. And then he gets shoved into the vault and then trapped in there. And then Safecracker guy dies. I kind of forgot about that part. Whatever.
I hate it when I get shoved in vaults.
I know, right? It's like the worst. So anyways, Scott and the helicopter pilot, Marianne, start going away. Then he's like, hey, we got to stop and grab my daughter. So they go to the Olympus where she is. They go to grab her. Obviously, Zeus is pissed still. He runs back there. I have no idea how he gets back in that amount of time, but he does. Movie magic, I don't know. There's a couple plot holes in this movie, but whatever. Yeah, so then they have like a little final stand. He grabs his daughter. A security guy is a zombie now. She shoots him in the head, blah, blah, blah. Saw it coming, obviously. Scott shoots Alpha Zombie with a grenade launcher, blows him into another room. They run up to the rooftop. Helicopter pilot's gone because why would she wait around? Then she does come back. They all jump in. They all get into the helicopter, start running away. Zombie jumps into the helicopter because movie. Then they start fighting. Scott gets bitten by said zombie. Shoots zombie at head. Brain explodes. Blue goo everywhere. Then they crash because the nuke just decided to go off, which... I watched a video about nuclear explosions in movies and how bullshit they are, and this one is definitely at the top of like. There's no fucking way that they got away and just blew kind of the helicopter, but the helicopter crashes. I mean,
I've only seen one movie actually show a decent nuclear explosion, and I don't even remember what it was.
The only one I can think of the best depiction of a nuclear blast in any movie, in my opinion, Terminator 2. That is the best depiction of a nuclear blast in any. Yeah, that was on that list too. That is bonkers because that would not. You would have to have
Barefoot again.
Yeah, but Terminator 2 is the best depiction of a nuclear blast in any movie, still to this day. And that movie came out in like
Barefoot again.
What's that?
My counter is Barefoot again.
What's that?
Look up the nuke scene in Barefoot again. You'll thank me.
Barefoot GN. Oh, okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It
was made by a Japanese guy who lived through World War II.
Oh, really? I will watch it. I will watch this after. It's probably this first one, right?
Probably. It's on YouTube. It's like the most. There's a movie attached to that scene, but it's the only thing anyone knows from that movie.
Fair enough. But yeah, so they crash. Obviously Scott's dying. He got bit by a zombie. Does father-daughter stuff like, hey, I love
the whole movie's on YouTube, actually. Interesting.
But yeah, so he says, I love you, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, I was shitty dad. Then he starts turning into a zombie. She caps him and starts, whatever. So that's kind of basically the end of the movie. That's how the movie ends. But then you kind of see like a little, not really a post-credit scene, but it's kind of like after, like an aftermath scene. Somehow, philosophy guy gets out of the safe after the whole, mind you, the entire city is obliterated. Like, there's no way this guy would get up and walk out, go to the nearest house, find a car, drive to an airport, get on that plane, and still be alive. But he gets on this plane, and he's not feeling so well. You know, he's going to Mexico City. Mm-hmm. Turns out he got bit somewhere in that fight during that Zeus fight.
Do you know what kind of bomb it was?
It just said a nuke.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it might have been a fusion bomb.
Yeah, I'm not. It just mushroom clouded. Like, they were not specific at all.
Any significantly powerful explosion will create a mushroom cloud, though.
Yeah. So I mean,
we can create small mushroom clouds even without nukes. You can create a mushroom cloud with TNT.
So yeah, that's basically the end of the movie. They basically
a big one, obviously, but
yeah, they basically set up the sequel with Vanderho, the philosophy guy, being the next alpha zombie, I guess. Which is funny because he has an Omega symbol tattooed on him, so Alpha and Omega, all that stuff.
That's fucking lame.
Yeah.
But god, they're called alpha zombies because they're Greek. Oh.
Yeah. But like overall, this movie's all right. Like, if you got, it's fucking long. It's 2.5 hours. Just to be aware. I give it a solid like 6.57 after 2 watches. Like, it's not bad. There's a lot of obviously plot holes and stuff like that, and like a lot of open-ended questions too. Like, that makes you want to see a sequel because you're like, where is this going? Like, what are these robot zombies doing? Where did this zombie thing come from? What's with the aliens? What's with the blue stuff? A lot of stuff going on. Was there a time loop? What's going on? So I mean, it's worth a watch if you literally have nothing else to do and you just want to watch like it's a fun action movie. I'll give it that, with just stupid shit in between it. Solid.
Okay then.
6.5 or 7. I don't know.
All right.
We'll say 6.8.
Sure. Okay. Well, that was Army of the Dead.
Do you want to move on, or do you want to take a break?
You know, I could go to the bathroom. Sure.
I need to take a tinkle.
I could go tinkle. Yeah.
So we will be right back with more of the Cold Topic podcast. After a quick message from our sponsor, Chex Mix. Next up is,
they're bringing back iCarly. That's what's next up. They're bringing back iCarly. I just wanted to share it.
Without Sam, so who really cares? Am I right?
I care.
I never watched iCarly, so
I care.
I have zero memories with that movie or show. So
here's what you have to understand about iCarly. It predicted the internet.
It predicted. Yeah. Did it? Oh,
pretty much.
When it was announced, I thought it was a spinoff of Drake and Josh, but it was not.
It was not. I also thought it was a spinoff of Drake and Josh. It was not. It pretty much it predicted how fucking terrible web shows would be, though.
Well, good on them. Good on Dan
Yeah.
Snyder and his foot fetish.
Yeah. Oh god, I forgot about that.
Had Fred. Oh, I remember that guy. That's cringe internet.
No, I mean like it had a I think they had a boxing match at one point between like Carly and an MMA fighter.
Really?
Yeah, and they had like fake beef off screen that they were just drumming to like drum up viewership for the event. Like they were generating hype by creating fake beef between the two, and they had like a boxing match.
That sounds alright.
They went to like a Japanese awards show. It was like crazy how it predicted like the future of YouTube. I like at the time you'd look at it and you'd be like, fucking, this would never happen. You know, this show would never get popular. This is all bullshit. And now you look at like the state of like web content nowadays and you're like, nope, iCarly fucking nailed it.
I'll take your word for it. I've never seen an episode of iCarly.
Oh, it's okay. It didn't age I mean, yes, it aged amazingly. If anything, I almost wonder, like, I haven't seen it in a long time. I almost wonder if it's better now than it was. It was always an all right show. I almost wonder if it's better now than it was at the time. Just because of like how much they nailed it.
Well, that's a good thing, yeah. Funny thing about Fred Guy is made the character and play the character, looks back at those videos, says yikes. Yeah, those are some cringe shit right there, yeah. It is.
Oh, I have always found Fred to be just unbearable.
I forgot about him until you just brought him up, so thank you for making me relive that.
Shit. Fred was in everything at the time, though. He had his own Nickelodeon show.
Did it? Oh, Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Thor.
And in the movie, John Cena was his dad.
What?
Yeah, I think so. Pretty sure.
Look how far we come where John Cena is in actual movies.
Yeah, he's an actual actor. I always liked John Cena. He was my favorite wrestler for like ever.
I've never been into wrestling.
I used to watch it more. I haven't really watched it since like 2008. Which is when everyone started hating John Cena. Because he got a really big push at the time and no one was happy with it because he didn't lose ever. I hear wrestling's in the toilet now, so I don't know.
Yeah. The next one is yours, Tenet.
Tenet.
It's never mind.
Tenet, directed by Christopher Nolan. Have you seen this movie?
I have not because I heard very mixed things about it, and it hasn't been free yet. I was gonna watch it. My thing was like if it became free, I'd watch it, but I don't want to pay $4 for it.
It's a very mixed kind of movie. What I do want to say is I looked up the actor who plays the main character, who is called Protagonist. That's what they called the main character of this movie, is Protagonist.
That's his act. Wow, that is
he
literally...
doesn't have a name. He's just Protagonist.
Yeah, I pulled up the IMDb and I scrolled down. I'm like, that is literally his fucking name.
He is cited in the credits as Protagonist.
Okay, Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, the actor John David Washington,
who is the son of Denzel Washington.
Is he?
He is.
Yeah. Here is what I will say about John David Washington is I'm not sure if he was right for the role, because I think the idea was they were trying to make Protagonist sort of like plain. I think the idea is to create like a milk toast. That's not what I mean to say. Like a plain like white bread kind of protagonist with like no real features. The thing with John David Washington is the man just drips swag.
Does he?
Like, yeah, SMT3 Hikawa levels of swag. In every scene, he like swaggers in there, and you're like, this motherfucker is the coolest guy in the room every time he enters a fucking room. His performance was great, for the record. I don't like when I said I'm not sure if he was the best casting. I mean, I think they got too good of an actor for the role they wanted. If that makes any sense, I think he was too good for the movie.
And, you know, that's fair.
Yeah, he did phenomenal. He was the best one, which might be a problem for a character called protagonist. Like, if this was in his A game, damn. But
yeah, Nolan
played a dude called a protagonist.
Nolan movies for me are hit and miss. Like, I like most of his older movies. The only one I haven't seen is Memento. It's still on my watch list.
I hear that's really good.
That's what everyone says. Like, I've seen like The Prestige and shit like that, and Prestige is pretty good. I like that.
Prestige is fine.
I liked it. I thought it was neat.
Fair. I don't think I'm a big Nolan fan. I'm not sure he's made a thing I like.
I only like Batman Begins. I do not like the other two Batman movies.
Batman Begins is a good movie. I agree with you. I don't like the other Batman movies either.
I think the more I watch The Dark Knight, the more I hate it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, just the more I don't like it. I think it's such an overhyped movie, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's the best fucking movie." I'm like, that's really not, though.
I agree.
But his other movies were like, I didn't like Interstellar either.
I didn't see Interstellar.
The best part of that is Murph. This is like Matthew McConaughey yelling Murph the entire time. Dark Knight is exactly the Dark Knight is burn.
I think you peaked the mic on that, by the way.
I could tell. Like, it went red on here.
Yeah.
Which I mean, yeah, it's.
Yeah, I don't like Dark Knight. The only scene I like in Dark Knight is the scene where Joker's talking about the two boats, and they're like, "You gotta blow up the other boat," and like the people on the one boat are like, "They made their choice when they became criminals," and then the criminal side is like, "We can't blow up the other boat. What the fuck's wrong with you?" That's like the best scene in the movie for me.
Yeah, that is a really good scene. I'll give it that, but like
everything else, no, I agree. Yeah.
But I'll give it to Batman Begins. Batman Begins is like a solid movie and a solid superhero movie, but I think he just went too gritty with like the next two, and like Dark Knight Rises is like one of the worst, in my opinion. I'll say that is one of the worst.
Last one. That movie is fucking goddamn terrible.
I think it's one of the worst. I don't think it's not one of the worst movies, but it's definitely one of the worst superhero movies.
Oh yeah, no, that is not. I think everyone fucking. We have already ranted about this. On to Tenet.
Yeah, that's right.
Tenet stars protagonist, who's like I think he's like CIA or something, or NSA. I think CIA because he goes to other countries, so he has to be CIA. And Ra's al Ghul. Oh yeah. And so what basically happens is he gets drafted into this organization who I don't think has a name, but the code word for it's Tenet, so we're going to call it the Tenet organization, who investigates time crimes. They're time criminals.
It's better than Organization 13.
Well, I don't think they have a name, but time crimes is what they do, and they basically are there to make sure that the future happens. And sometime in the future, some lady invents a formula, an algorithm, some science bullshit that lets the flow of time relative to an object be reversed. So they could send things back in time, or they could send like objects back in time, and stuff like that by like reversing the way time affects it.
Okay.
And they find a bunch of like reverse timed bullets, and they track it to like I think like a Russian arms dealer or something. One of like I believe it's a Soviet country, like a Soviet arms dealer, who not like Soviet country, obviously not. It's a modern movie though. So obviously the Soviet Union's not still around. But so they track it to like some arms dealer who is basically what he wants to do is destroy the future by reversing time in the entire planet so that like all of reality just like evaporates, basically. Like he wants to like end time when he dies because he's dying of some kind of cancer or something. I don't fucking know.
That sounds really selfish.
Yeah, he's a dick.
Okay.
It beats his wife up at one point, I think.
Okay.
Not a good person. But anyway, yeah, the movie, first off, I don't think it's interesting. It has an interesting concept. I don't think it fully understands its own concept because there are times where the reversed time just does not make fucking sense. It just does not make sense. But they pull like a Rick and Morty very early on into the movie. Like when they're explaining the reverse time concept, they're basically like, don't think, feel, which is like the movie's equivalent of telling you, shut up and don't think about it. Pretty much.
I mean, fair enough.
It's like the movie is aware that it doesn't fully understand its own concept, and it's like, don't worry about it. Stop thinking about it.
Stop. Just enjoy it.
We know. Shut up. Don't worry. So I watched it twice, actually, just to make sure I got everything, because it is told in the most confusing fucking way possible.
Yeah.
Because you see events happening backward while it follows the main character as the events going forward, but then you see things happening where people are going backward. But then as you get to a certain point in the movie, you find out that the things that are going backward are actually the main cast going backward in time from a further point in time headed backward, so that they solve the plot of the movie in the past.
Okay.
It makes sense in context.
Okay.
Very early on in the movie, they introduce the concept of a temporal pincer attack, which is the idea of sending a team in a future date back in time to perform an operation, so that the future date operation can learn from the experiences, so that the present operation can learn from the experiences of the future operation going back, so that the timelines intersect. And you see the villain utilize this time pincer technique, but the entire movie itself is in fact a time pincer, because you find out that fucking spoilers here, protagonist is actually the one who is in head of the operation, but not the present protagonist that we're following, but future protagonist who created the operation in the future, created the entire Tenet organization, and sent soldiers and agents back in the past to intersect with himself in the present, so that he joins the organization to later found the organization in the future. It makes sense, I assure you.
All right.
Mostly.
Time travel.
Time travel, yeah, it's interesting. After I got to the about halfway through the midway point of this movie, I was like, because I was starting to see how some of the pieces were connecting. I was like, I wonder if this is like a Fight Club type movie, where if you watch it on the second time, it makes more sense.
Yeah.
And maybe there's a bunch of secrets that you only see when you rewatch it. So I got to the end of the movie, and then I actually decided to rewatch it. It was so boring the first time. And it was slightly better on a rewatch. I didn't really catch anything else other than right at the opening, you find out that Edward Cullen, I'm going to call him Edward Cullen because it's the actor who plays Edward Cullen, that Edward Cullen was the guy who saved the main character at the beginning of the movie. But
out of all the Pattinson characters,
Robert Pattinson,
he picked Edward fucking Cullen.
I literally know him as nothing else other than Edward Cullen.
Watch Good Times. You'll look at Robert Pattinson differently.
Oh no, he did totally fine in the movie.
Okay.
Yeah, no, if you know anything about the story of the Twilight movies, you know that it wasn't the actors' faults.
I've seen all of them.
Okay, well, you should know it wasn't the actors' faults, any of them. It wasn't their fault.
Yeah.
They actually have, talked about how shitty it was working on the movies. Because I believe Stephanie Meyer had, a production role on those movies, and she was the reason those movies turned out so shitty.
Really? That's funny.
Yeah, something like that. That's what I'd heard.
Yeah, I did not like any of them.
So yeah, all of the actors in that movie, I'm sure they did fine. They just they hit a bad production, and it happens.
They did what they could with what they had.
With what they were screamed at by a crazy person.
Vampires.
Allegedly.
I mean, that's the never mind. We're not gonna get into Twilight, but yeah, go on.
Yo, I'll do a fucking podcast on Twilight. I've read all the books.
Oof.
They're not as bad as people think they are.
Those are some thick boys. I've seen those. They're thick books.
Oh yeah, they're fine. I mean, I used to read a lot. I didn't used to like. I would refuse to read a manga if it didn't have over 100 chapters.
Fair.
When the last movie came out, an interview, Robert Pattinson asked if he was sad it was ending. He said no.
Yeah,
Yes.
He said multiple times that he hated every second doing it, and he only did it to like make him blow up, and it did. It worked, so good for him. He's like,
from what I understand, the entire cast thought it was unbearable.
Yeah.
To work on those fucking movies.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So Tenet didn't really catch too much extra on the second go around though. Like it wasn't a Fight Club. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Fight Club and like Requiem or Dream, like those two movies that like you'll watch, and Mulholland Drive that you can watch like twice and you'll see new shit that you didn't see the first time.
Yeah. It wasn't. I mean, I saw some stuff that I missed the first time, but it wasn't like anything. It's an okay movie. I wouldn't tell anyone to go out and watch it. I didn't think it was great. It was the fucking actor though. Who played protagonist. Great, amazing, great job.
I'll watch it when I can. If it comes to like HBO Max or some shit, I'll probably pop it on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, it might be on HBO. It's like one of those things like Nolan screwed me over so many times now that like I'll watch his older movies, but anything new he comes out, I'll wait.
Yeah. Anyway, that was Tenet. That's all I had to say.
All right, moving right along, which is Solar Opposites, which is my category for the evening. It's a newish show. It's on season 2. It's done by Justin Roiland. So it's completely different from Rick and Morty. I'll say that. I also rewatched Rick and Morty. I was going to put it on the podcast tonight, but I didn't really feel like it. So I rewatched all of it and then watched season 4 because I'm like, oh, they're coming out with a new season. Why not rewatch it? Season 3 is the only cringe season of Rick and Morty, but season 4 of Rick and Morty is actually. But yeah, it's a story about.
And that hard to believe.
I liked season 4. I thought it was way better than season 3. Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen season 4. Rick and Morty is not good.
I like.
I'll just say it. Rick and Morty is not good.
I like the first 2 seasons. Season 3 is like and season 4 was cool too. I liked it. I like the craziness of it.
Oh no, I have seen season 4. No, it's shit.
You didn't like it? Okay, I liked it.
No,
I think season 1 is the best season, and then it just like season 2 is like okay. Season 3 is like whatever. Like the first episode of season 1 is like the only good one in that season, in my opinion. That's about it.
Speaking of fucking Rick and Morty, though, great goddamn news. What was it? Was it HBO Max? I think picked up Venture Bros.
It did, yeah.
Which is the best show Adult Swim ever made.
Debatable, but it is one of them. Yeah, it is one of them. Yeah.
And Aqua Teen Hunger Force for movies for all of them to actually finally finish fucking Venture Bros and Metalocalypse. And like Hunger Force had its run, so I'm not as excited. I mean, I enjoyed Hunger Force, I feel like Hunger Force had its run, but like I'm excited that we finally get to see the fucking end of Metalocalypse and Venture Bros.
Yeah, I'm definitely pumped about it because I love Venture Bros and I love Metalocalypse too. I don't like so the funny thing is like I don't like the music in Metalocalypse, but I love the characters. The music's like whatever.
I think you're nuts. I'm not sure if you're supposed to like the music in Metalocalypse. I know some people do.
Some people really like it. Yeah.
One of the best things I've heard from Metalocalypse is a joke where like Murderface like turns to Nathan and he's like, "Do we have a song about cancer?" And Nathan's like, "I mean, I don't think so, but I can add lyrics about it." And one of them, it's not like anyone can understand what I'm saying anyway.
Yeah. It's a great show for metalheads because like a lot of that shit is like it's really true, but like I'm not a fan of music. Also, Tenet is on HBO.
It's a great show for not metalheads.
Yeah. Tenet is on HBO Max if anyone does want to watch. I just checked it.
Anyway, Solar Opposites. I had interest in the show because I've seen like clips from it, and I'm like, this might be entertaining. I don't know.
It is pretty damn entertaining. I'm not gonna lie. I went into it like it was like one of the shows like I put on like at night because I got bored of Family Guy and I watched all of Rick and Morty again, and it came up on Hulu. It was like, oh, you should watch this. I'm like, okay, so I watched it, and it's actually pretty fucking interesting. It follows Corvo and Terry. Corvo is played by Justin Roiland. Terry's played by Thomas Middleditch, which I love Thomas Middleditch. If you haven't seen Silicon Valley, please watch it. I love that show. It's really good. I actually need to rewatch it and actually watch the final season. Actually, I haven't watched the final season yet. And a whole bunch of other people, but they're like the two main stars of this. So it follows a group of aliens. Like their planet blew up, so they found a home on Earth, and they kind of like they don't really say like what happened. It kind of just starts and they just like live in this house, and like the spaceship's like parked on the house and shit. It's like kind of funny, but like what I really want to talk about with the show is like the subplot that they have. There's a subplot. Yes. That is.
See, that's the thing. I wasn't interested in this at all, and then everyone started talking about The Wall, and I'm like, man, it almost seems like this should just be the show.
Honestly, it's really. I think they did that purposely because like there's like.
Oh, I do too. From what I've heard,
there's like each season has an episode dedicated just to The Wall. But every once in a while in an episode, they'll cut to what's going on in there. And it's fantastic. It's like, it's really good. I really liked it. Like, I was like, they should just make like a whole season on just The Wall because it's so good. Like, cause, it starts, the two kid aliens like start, one of them starts, shrinking down people just cause he can. So there's a whole fucking like community of people in there and they build a society and all this. It's phenomenal. I'm not gonna spend too much time on this because like there's you should watch it and I don't want to spoil some shit for you. But just for The Wall alone, like it's worth a watch. It's 16 episodes. They're not super long. You can power watch this in a fucking day. And it's definitely worth the watch if you like Justin Roiland and the shit that he does. And I love Thomas Middleditch, so that was just an extra plus. And the animation is really good and it's on Hulu if you got it. So
okay.
Solid series 8. I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. All right.
I'll give the Wall 10 out of 10 though.
Okay.
I'll separate that and give The Wall 10 out of 10 because that shit is just fucking prime. Because like
the Wall subplot, on the other hand.
Yeah, the lead guy in The Wall is this guy named Tim, and he's played by Andrew Daly, who's another person that I really love, and he should be in more shit. And he's fucking fantastic. It's very good. Go watch it.
Okay, moving on.
Moving on to Schmashel Schmania.
Yes, Schmashel Schmania. So you said you might watch this, right?
So I've seen season 1.
Okay.
And I played a shit ton of the games. So when this was originally announced, I was like,
I think I've only played Aria.
Fuck yeah. When they announced this and they're like, this is going to be like an adult animation. It's going to be gory. It's going to be bloody. And it's going to start like basically no one from the games. And I was like, awesome. This is awesome. I can't wait to see that. I watched season 1 and I was like, fuck, this is good. And then I completely forgot that I had 3 more seasons. Until recently when somebody's like, I watched season 4 of Castlevania. I'm like, they came out with 3 more seasons? Completely forgot about it. So it's on my watch list.
Season 4 just came out pretty recently, like this month, I think.
Yeah, so I'm watching it after because Megan and I are watching Berserk. We just finished the movies and we're just gonna watch the like 16 episodes of the anime and then we're gonna be done with that. Just because she's never seen it, and I was like, "Do you want to see Berserk?" Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Speaking of Berserk, though.
Yeah.
Miura has unfortunately passed away.
Yeah, so that's why one of the reasons why we watched it. It's very sad because like it's never gonna be finished. Yeah, I watched the newer ones on Netflix, like the 3 movies, and I'm watching the show that's on BRV or Crunchyroll or something like that. I can't find like the 90s one for whatever reason on any of the apps, so I think it's on YouTube or something like that. I think
it's really easy to find, actually.
Yeah, I think we already had this conversation, and it was like really easy to find. But it's just, it is on YouTube. Okay, yeah. I'll probably watch that by myself just cause. But we're watching that because the same animation site. Yeah, and I completely forgot I was on YouTube. But yeah, unfortunately, he did pass away, and Megan saw it, and she's like, "I've never seen it." I'm like, "Well, you're not gonna like it, but we'll watch it."
There's some like behind the scenes whisperings. From what I've heard, the next chapter that hadn't been released yet was almost done, and it just had a minor delay. So I would expect at least one more episode of Berserk for sure, or one more chapter of Berserk, like bare minimum. But there's some whisperings that maybe his assistants will finish out the story, because he was training his assistants to like take over.
Yeah.
But Miura himself said that he was never like really confident that he could properly do Berserk, so it's a little iffy on how that'll go. One of his assistants like tweeted out, "I'll do my best," with no context.
I love that.
So there's nothing that's been said. I would say there's a good chance, probably 50-60% chance at least, that like one more chapter probably going to be done. Just because like it was supposed to come out like a month ago and it got delayed. So my guess is like the outline is done. Most of the shit is on paper. They probably just have to like finish up the art a bit.
Yeah, because it's close to being done, isn't it?
The new chapter is.
Yeah.
Berserk the manga I think is nearing its end, but they would have some stuff to do as far as I understand. I don't know. I didn't really catch up with Berserk.
Yeah, because I watched I watched like a 3-hour long video of just the entirety of Berserk, like the manga, just because I'm like, they're never gonna make it into an anime, so I'm just gonna do this.
They very well might make it into an anime one day, but
I mean, if they finish it, that'd be cool, because I'll watch it because I like it. So, but yeah, I like watched basically like a Cliff Notes version of it, and like and on all that, and I was like, I really want them to finish it. And it is really sad.
They had to wait like 40 years before they adapted JoJo, so before there was a real JoJo adaptation. So I wouldn't be. I mean, later down the line they might do Berserk, but yeah, so. It's iffy. I don't think they know what they're doing with Berserk right now.
The guy who made this show wants to make a Berserk show, and I really, really hope he doesn't. Who made Castlevania?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I think he could do okay. I think the problem with Berserk is like there's not a lot of wiggle room. Like if you're gonna do Berserk, you have to fucking do Berserk. You can't like change shit about Berserk.
Yeah, you really can't, because like I mean, like the movies like stick to, for what I've seen from the manga, like pretty well. They only leave like a couple things out.
Yeah, it's very bare bones. I wasn't a huge fan of them.
Yeah. But
it's like the Cliff Notes version of the Golden Age.
Yeah. Which I wish that it could have been like a little bit longer. Like that seems like Golden Age like is like a 2-season arc almost, and it's split into like literally like 3 movies that are like,
yeah, it's the first 96 chapters.
Yeah, so and it's like what the movies are.
It is not the first 96 chapters. There's 20 chapters, then 96 chapters of Golden Age, because it's the Black Swordsman's arcs, 20 chapters originally, then 96 chapters of Golden Age, and then the arcs after that.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. One adapting Berserk. Apparently, he's doing a Devil May Cry show that is connected to Castlevania.
Yes, I can actually. I when I first heard he was doing a Castlevania Devil May Cry thing, I was like, there's no way that would fucking work. Having finished the Castlevania show, it would work fine. I understand how he would do it. I just hope it doesn't connect to Berserk. But
it's all connected. It's like the MCU. Berserk, Devil May Cry, Castlevania, all one world.
Yeah, no, Devil May Cry he can do. I wouldn't want a Berserk though. Crossed over. I mean, like, I think he could do a fine job of adapting Berserk. I wouldn't want it crossing over with like Castlevania or Devil May Cry or anything though.
No, it wouldn't make sense in context.
No.
Yeah.
But anyway, So season 1 is really good of the show. Season 2, I know a lot of people were like even bigger on it. I thought season 2 was kind of boring. I thought there was too much about the vampire politics. I didn't give a shit about it. It sets up a lot of important stuff that was necessary for the show, but I thought it was a fucking slog to get through season 2, honestly.
Is it like 6 episodes like season 1?
Huh?
Or is it like still like 6 episodes like season 1 was, right?
I don't know. Season 2 is pretty short also. Like the first few were pretty short. Let's see. I can probably look up episode total.
Yeah, there's only 32.
Season 1 has 4 episodes. Season 2 is episodes 5 through 12. Season 3 is 13 through 22, and season 4 is 23 through 32. So all in all, it's like a fucking 1 season show, 2 season show, pretty much.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Richard Armitage for playing Trevor Belmont.
Yeah, he did a good job. Yeah, season 2 kind of slow. Season 3 a lot better. Season 4 was fucking great though. Holy shit! Like, knowing that you might watch it, I don't want to get into the spoilers about it.
Oh, it's next on my list. It's literally going to be in like the next week.
Yeah, they did an excellent job with the character arcs. Like, they did a great job of wrapping up the character stories. Like, they could not go past this. Genuinely. But yeah, like, everyone had an arc. Everyone ended up not even necessarily where you'd think they ended up, but they all ended up in a good place. It was just like a really satisfying ending to the whole show as a whole. I will say, I thought season 4 a little crass at times.
Like, what do you mean?
Like they kind of speak how I do. Like, there's too much cursing.
Oh, I mean, there's a lot of cursing in season 1.
Yeah, there's more.
So they upped the ante on the cursing.
A little bit, yeah. It's a bit much for me. I was like, this is a little heavy-handed.
Maybe the new writers were Australian.
I guess. I don't know. Anishin Kar, the director, did the same thing as Dante in cosplay. He made dress like that to bit the whole thing getting off Dante vibes. One thing, they introduce this like portal to other worlds. That's how they would do a Devil May Cry crossover. I think it's called like the Infinite Corridor or something. And that's how they would fit in Devil May Cry. Is it would be one like they set up a multiverse in Castlevania, so it would be one probably universe in the multiverse. I don't think it would be in the same timeline as Castlevania.
Yeah, I was gonna say yeah, that would be kind of weird because Devil May Cry is set more in modern times, and obviously Castlevania is set in like.
Well, no, the demons would conflict too hard. Is the problem?
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, but. Yeah, that's how I think it would work. I think they would go with the multiverse aspect. Like, when they see the shots of the Infinite Corridor, we see some, like, crazy shit. Like, we see, like, an Australian Aborigines. We see, like, this, like, weird, like, Aztec, but almost, like, futuristic temple. We see a spaceship. We see these giant mechanical, almost like ATSTs from, like, Star Wars. Like, they set some shit up. So yeah, but it's a really good show. Surprisingly enough, I was really surprised with what they did with the characters. Surprisingly, I dropped a piece of my chair. Surprisingly funny at parts. The best comparison I've seen is like Sypha, Trevor, and Alucard are like a D&D party. They're like a D&D party. Like, they get shit done. They're all practical, but they're like fucking banter is. It is just like the same sort of like dysfunction that you would expect.
I like that. Yeah, I really like them. At the end of season 1 too, like that they already had like that nice setup going, and that's why I was like pumped for season 2, and then I just forgot about it.
Yes, it is also worth noting Castlevania is why whenever I talk about Haru, I mention that she'll turn you into shoes, because that's a line from Castlevania where Trevor threatens to turn Alucard into shoes.
Oh yeah. That was from season 1, right?
Yes. Yeah. And it always seemed like something that Haru would do, like Haru Okumura from Persona 5, is turn someone into shoes.
Fair enough.
Humorous thing I saw is like I've seen like shipping debates about Persona, and one of the like crazy standout ones I saw was Akechi and Haru. And I'm like, okay, that's not a ship. That's a contest to see whether Akechi will shoot her or whether he'll be turned into shoes first.
Shoe or shoot, the new game show.
They will murder each other.
So, would you say this is like the best video game adaptation you've seen?
Oh, as a show?
Yes, as like any sort of media outside of the game.
Let's. I'm struggling to think of video game to show.
Devil May Cry had a show. Bayonetta has one.
I did not know that.
Persona has an anime.
I have taste. I would say, without like going through the list of every video game adaptation into show, I would say this is the best I've seen that I can currently think of.
Fair enough. I said the same thing when I saw it too.
Yeah,
like, because the thing I like about it is that it doesn't necessarily follow one game.
There's some good anime adaptations of video games, to be fair.
Yeah, like the Persona 5 anime, for instance, like literally just follows the same beats as the fucking it takes place between the other. Okay, I wasn't sure. I haven't seen it yet. But yeah, Persona 5 like literally just follows like the game, whereas this is like its own self-contained thing, but with the characters and mythology from the game. And I think if you're gonna do
it takes some liberties from what I understand.
Yeah. I'll have to watch like the rest of it, and then I can be like, okay, this makes sense, that makes sense, that makes sense. But from like just watching season 1 alone, like contextually it fits in within the world, but it's its own self-contained story, and it's it's a thing, you know.
Yeah, the Danganronpa 3 anime weren't bad, but I wouldn't say they were better than the Castlevania show. The thing is, like, season 4 really makes the show, is what I'll say.
The P4 anime. I've only seen half of the P5 anime, and I'm just like, this is basically just the game. It's basically just the cutscenes of the game, like in a like anime. It is what it is. I just like was watching it while I was playing P5, just because I never finished it though. I was just like, whatever.
Yeah. I never started it.
Yeah, I was like bored on Funimation. I just saw it and I was like, okay. I do have the P4 anime in there though. I'll eventually watch that, but there's other things I gotta get through first.
I also saw I think like Fall of Reach or something, like the Halo movie.
Yeah.
But this is better than that too.
Yeah,
I mean that was decent. But...
Yeah, that was okay. I remember watching that. I believe Mike Coulter is in that movie. The guy who played Luke Cage. If I remember correctly.
But yeah, I think he could do a Devil May Cry anime. As long as he does a good job of it, if that makes sense.
But which one would he do? Would he do something like this, or would he follow the game?
I wouldn't want him to do this because this is not Devil May Cry.
Yeah,
like you couldn't do this and then do Devil May Cry.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Dante is like immortal, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't be able to have like these kind of like moments with Devil May Cry. Like Devil May Cry is a lot more lighthearted. There's a lot more moments of levity in it. Like there's some serious shit like, oh, my brother's dead, I'm sad and bullshit. But, like Dante has a magic hat and he like does a fucking Michael dancing like Jackson break dance.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like with Devil May Cry, like same thing.
That's what I would not want. I would not want a DMC Devil May Cry adaptation. They'd have to do real Devil May Cry, which I think he could do. I think he has the talent for it because I've seen other things he's done, and despite his like weird Apu rant, he is a competent director. He knows how to make a good show.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want this. This would not be Devil May Cry.
Yeah, he's the same guy that did that like Dark Power Rangers like short movie, right? Am I thinking of the same guy?
Did he? Maybe.
I think so. Yeah. If I remember correctly, like that's how he got this Castlevania job. Like he did like.
I mean, he did a solid job on that also.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't want him. It wouldn't be appropriate to go like ultra dark with fucking Castlevania. Like that's just not That's not Castlevania. And in the same way, like, you wouldn't go ultra dark with Berserk either. Which I'm sure there'd be some controversy to saying that, but that's not what Berserk is. Berserk is not about being ultra dark, everything sucks and everything is terrible. It's about like overcoming impossible odds and like not giving up.
Yeah.
Like that's what Berserk is about, really. It is about like determination and shit.
And that's exactly what Brand of Sacrifice's songs are all about. And when I made that connection, I was very upset at myself. It was so fucking obvious.
But I actually have hope, because the ending of this show wasn't uber dark either. Like, it had a really happy ending, pretty much. I mean, there was some sad parts to it, but
that's very Castlevania. Like from the amount of Castlevanias I played and beat, not to brag, but I've beaten a few. They normally end with like peace and happiness. So
yeah. So there you go then. Yeah. So I think he could do a good job. I'm just like, I don't know. I'm a little skittish, but I think he has it in him to do it. Whether he does it or not, I think is a different question. But I'd watch a Devil May Cry show.
I'd watch it if it's done by him, and I really like the rest of Castlevania, which from the sounds of it, I probably will like it. I'll probably watch that too if he does that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's really hard to find good video game adaptations. So I mean, if this guy's doing good at it, let him keep doing it. Just don't let him touch anything else, I guess.
Don't touch anything. Don't let him touch The Simpsons.
Fair enough. He wants to
skip Golden Age. You can't do that.
Yeah,
I actually would understand skipping the Golden Age. That's what they did when they did the new Baki anime adaptation. Is they skipped like the opening and the Maxim tournament because they've already done it.
Yeah, that would make sense because they've done it like for the Golden Age. They've done it in the original and then this newer series. So I mean, like, how many times you gonna be like? It's like the same thing with Spider-Man. Like they've done three sets of Spider-Man movies, both showing Uncle Ben dying, and then the new one's just like, fuck it, we're gonna skip the entire origin story.
Yeah, if you want to create like a definitive Berserk, you can't like skip Golden Age. I would say that. But if like you're just like, hey, let's actually do a Berserk adaptation though. Like we've done Golden Age. Like we have the 90s Golden Age one. Just go on. Just get to Black Swordsman.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but there are parts of Golden Age that have never been adapted. True, yeah. I mean,
well, Castlevania only got like 32 episodes, and you wouldn't be able to do. You could do Golden Age in 32 episodes. You could do a full adaptation of it, but then that would be and you could do Black Swordsman in 32 episodes, but then that would be it, and you'd stop. Like if he was given the same amount of time for Castlevania, like for Berserk that he was given for Castlevania, he would not be able to do a full Berserk adaptation. There's just too much Berserk.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like with the movies that I watched, like it feels like they're like an hour and a half long. Like the last one's like almost 2 hours, but like it feels like it should be like 2 seasons of a show. Like there should be like 13 to 14 episodes, and I should get like 28 episodes of more stuff. Because like when I was listening to the whole story of Berserk, I'm like, there's a lot of stuff that they missed out on. Like I haven't seen the 90s one yet, but I'll get to it eventually.
The standard for adapting a manga, like the golden standard, is about 2 to 3 chapters per episode. That's shown in length, which Berserk's not. But if there are 96 chapters in the Golden Age arc, divided by 3, 32 episodes is what it would take to properly adapt the entirety of the Golden Age.
Yeah, so you'd have to have like 18 episodes a season, right? No, 16. Bad at math.
If you were to do an anime, you wouldn't. You would do. You would do. They could do Black Swordsman, make it 39, do a 3-season show.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see if it ever.
If I were to adapt to Berserk, that's what I would do.
If it ever gets adapted again, if it gets finished, I don't think if they were to adapt again, at least it should be finished before they do. If not, I don't think they should honestly touch it, just to kind of preserve the legacy that he left behind. That's just my opinion, but I mean, you got a Romero movie coming out and he's dead, so
Berserk, what? So they usually don't pick up when an author dies. That's
Yeah.
very rare. But what I will say is that Berserk was inspired by something called Gwain Saga, and Gwain Saga was picked up after the author died. But Gwain Saga was also a novel, so it's a bit of a different.
Yeah, it definitely sucks because like a lot of people obviously wanted to see what happened at the end, but I mean, if they do pick it up, that's great. If they don't, it's totally understandable. I would like to see how it ends personally.
Yeah,
I like Skull
he
Knight.
definitely has an outline for it.
Yeah, Skull Knight's like my favorite character. Just always there to just be like cool.
Manga doesn't change authors unless the company wants a sequel and the author doesn't.
Cop Boruto.
I have seen it. It's rare. It's very rare, but I have seen it happen.
Yeah.
Worth noting, though, Gwain Saga, which was a partial obviously there were multiple inspirations for Berserk. Like, I think shoujo manga was one of the inspirations for Berserk. But the author published 131 volumes.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's one of the largest. Gwain Saga is the longest single writer's work in the world.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Well, hell yeah.
Anyway, that was Castlevania.
Castlevania. Just me. All right, so we're moving on to the next topic, which is it's very important to me, and I'm very excited to talk about it. We have an official new Devil Wears Prada EP, which is a sequel to their Zombie EP from 2010, which is amazing. Nobody saw this coming. I wanted it because I actually did a virtual show of theirs back in November, and they played the entirety of the Zombie EP. And I was like, it'd be really cool if they did a sequel to this, given the old quarantine thing. And they did. And did it disappoint? No, it's literally fucking good. It's literally 5 songs, right? Five or six.
Literally fucking good.
It's so good. It's 5 songs. Nightfall, Forlorn, Termination, Nora, and Contagion. It's very typical for bands, at least in the genre that I listen to just come out with an EP. Just because fuck it. Especially during quarantine. Like, there's been a lot of really good random EPs and singles because everyone's been home and not touring. So I'm kind of, one of the things I'm grateful from this quarantine is this record, because I like the concept that they came up with the zombies. They've also done a space one too, which was really good. Mike Karenica, the vocalist and lyricist of the band, is one of my favorite writers of all time. There have been a few pandemic-esque music. Cradle Fist on the album is supposed to be about the Black Death. That'd be pretty dope. Yeah, but Mike's like, I have his book that he wrote for one of my favorite albums by them. It literally goes into detail about the lyrics and everything, and it's a great book. It's also signed by him. It's one of my favorite pieces in my collection. It's one of the only books I've actually sat down and read entirely because ADHD. Also, shout out to Megan for getting me an early birthday present, giving me the entire visualization of Ghostbusters 1, 2, the video game, the real Ghostbusters, and Extreme Ghostbusters. It's literally one of the best things I have ever. It has like little pieces of the actual movie in it and stuff. It's fucking great. But besides that, we're talking about Devil Wears Prada. So,
but what about Ghostbusters 2016?
It's not in there. That's my favorite part of it. It came out before 2016 though. Like, the book itself came out before that, which I'm totally fine with. I'm totally fine that it's not in there. We've already talked about that on the show, so I'm definitely not getting into a rant about how much I hate that fucking piece of shit movie. Fuck that movie. Fuck everyone that made that movie. Not fuck the actors, because I do like Chris Hemsworth and Kristen Wiig. That's about it in that movie, and Bill Murray, and obviously all the original that came back. But
yeah, the actors did what they could with what they had.
Like Twilight, full circle. Yeah. But anyways, I've been this came out a couple weeks ago. Oh, it came out on the 21st, so that's about 2 weeks ago now. It's been a daily listen for me because it's very short. It's like 24 minutes, I think. It's all about zombies. It's great. It kind of it was like weird because like May was like Army of the Dead came out, and they were talking about that George Romero movie, and then this came out. I was like, wow, May is apparently just zombie month now. Audible.
Well, it can't be Star Wars month anymore.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that. Yeah. But yeah, if you guys like heavier music and also my favorite band of all time, I would definitely check this out. It's good. The lyrics are really interesting. It's a whole story too. It's not just like random songs about zombies. Like it's from track 1 to track 5. It's an entire story about a person going through this whole zombie apocalypse type thing. It's same concept as the first one. It's about someone going through it and their experience, and that's one of my favorite. King Diamond does do a lot of story albums too. Devil Wears Prada does that in almost every album that they put out, except for their first two. Their first two was the songs kind of connect, but some of them connect and some of them don't. But album 3 to the newest one, the act, all the songs tell a story, and that's one of my favorite things with music is when an artist does that, because that's the way I look at an album. It's like a book almost. Like each song is a different chapter in something, and Devil Wears Prada does that every time with every CD from the second one on. The Zombie EP, Space EP, this one, With Roots Above, 818, The Act, Transit Blues, and Dead Throne. All of them are story based, and they're really good. Actually, the first Zombie EP had a comic book too. I did have it. I have no idea where it went, and that's very sad because I love that thing. I was gonna put it in a frame and never did. I don't know where it is now. It's maybe at my grandpa's house in New Hampshire. Who knows? But if you got some time, you got Spotify Premium. Because if you're not paying for Spotify Premium, why not? It's $10. It's worth it. No ads, unlimited skips. Go check this album out. 24 minutes of your time. It's really good. It's been #1 at the charts for like the last 2 weeks, and it shows no sign of stopping. I'm getting a solid 10 out of 10. Not because they're my favorite band, because this is literally like lyrically and musically, it's a masterpiece. It's heavy as shit, which their last album they kind of slowed it down a little bit. But when they came back for this EP, it fucking slams you. It takes you into the back. It just hits you in the back of the head with a bat, and then it's done. It's good. I recommend to go listen to it. Hee.
So I don't pay for Spotify Premium because I don't think I've ever been on Spotify.
Fair enough.
Because I'm not a music person.
Yeah, I was gonna say like if you don't listen to music, it makes sense for you not to have it. But I listen to a lot of music. Like I have a Spotify Duo account because Megan refused to pay for Spotify, and I'm like, I will pay the extra $3 so you have no ads. But she also listens to like 5 bands. I do not. I listen to way more than.
Kanye West also, like his albums, because I'm a big Kanye fan. I made no secret about that. Kanye's albums are also designed to be like, he is an album artist, I would say.
Yeah.
He doesn't necessarily like tell a story so much with them, but the albums are designed to like give you like a feeling, like a sensation. Like they all work towards a single goal.
Yeah.
All of the songs do, except for like Yeezus, where I have no fucking idea why Yeezus ends the way it does. Because Yeezus starts off with like it slightly crazy experimental hip hop, and then gets more and more like nonsensically experimental to the end. And then it like ends with like what's the song called, Bound to You or something? Fucking Bound 2, right? Yeah. And it's like this like love ballad out of nowhere. So it's weird. Anyway, but you're not there. I don't know why I'm talking.
No, I'm listening. I have my headphones.
Oh, okay. It's so weird with fucking Yeezus how it just turns into a love ballad at the end. But the only Devil Wears Prada song I think I've heard is like Louder Than Thunder. A
lot of people. That's my mom's favorite Devil Wears Prada song. That and
It's really good. Yeah.
Yeah. The two songs I always recommend to people when they ask me, like, what song should I listen to? I'm like, well, they're a heavier band. So if you don't like heavy music, check out either Louder or Thunder. Any of their instrumental songs. Kansas is an instrumental song. That's a good one. Another one would be Chemical, which is off their latest CD. Which is like it's good starter songs. Because like Mike, the vocalist, is primarily a scream guy, like myself. So like he doesn't do any singing. Jeremy, the guitarist, does all the singing. So it's not a band where you can just have nothing but straight clean vocals. But they do have a few songs where they do have just clean vocal. Well, they have those two songs. But if I recommend those two songs, they are very good songs. Like Chemical is one of my favorite songs. I have a hat that literally is about that song, so you've seen that. I wear it all the time.
Yeah, Louder Than Thunder is a really good song. I saw it. The only reason I know about it is because it was like they made an AMV with that song set to Luciora Schaefer from like Bleach.
Weird.
What I will say about Luciora is that this is going to be weird. Because I know you're not a Bleach fan, so I doubt you made it to the Hueco Mundo arc, right?
I made it to the end of Aizen's. No. Aizen's, yeah. Where he's like, I'm the bad guy, and then I was like, I'm done.
Oh, the end of the Soul Society, then.
Yeah, that one, yeah.
Okay, so you missed a Luciora Schaefer. Here's what I'll say about Luciora. Bleach just gets worse as it goes on, but Luciora is the best character in all of Bleach, but the problem is he's too good for Bleach. Like, he's too well written for Bleach. He has a character arc. He's the only character in Bleach with a character arc. He's so out of place, it's weird. But yeah, when you said Devil Wears Prada, Maid said you thought the novel. I thought you were talking about the movie.
No,
so when I looked at
we're talking
album, I'm like, oh, I guess this is a music thing.
We're talking
so
music.
Excited for it.
Oh, really?
I thought we were going to talk about the movie Devil Wears Prada.
I literally put the Devil Wears Prada Z2, which I put
I think they made a sequel or something.
Oh, okay. No, I'm talking about the Devil Wears Prada, yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I got that. I thought we were going to talk about the movie Devil Wears Prada.
Hey, the boys can't come out with a CD without me being like, I need to fucking talk about this because I need to. I needed to.
Fair enough. All right, we good to move on? Okay.
The next one.
Yes, this is going to be very short. Is the Adeptus Ridiculous podcast. So I found a podcast recently starring DK Diamantes, Bricky, and Shy as they explain Warhammer 40k lore. Do you know anything about Warhammer, John?
I know it's a game.
It is a game. It is a war game. So basically, it takes place in like the future of the Milky Way galaxy in the 42nd now millennia. So it's like 20,000 some odd years in the future. It's very far into the future. And yeah, basically they just like talk about Warhammer lore. So I can't really get into it without talking about Warhammer lore. I always thought Warhammer was really fucking stupid. Like anytime I tried to get into Warhammer, I was like, this is really fucking stupid and I hate this. And the podcast does not make it any less stupid. It's still really stupid, but it makes it entertaining. So if you ever had any interest in Warhammer, it's like they don't get super in depth. It's not like a lore heavy podcast. It's sort of like they describe it as the Cliff Notes version of Warhammer lore. And it's pretty entertaining. So I would recommend it. Check it out. They
like Warhammer.
They hit all of the major events: the fall of Cadia, the Horus Heresy, the Age of Apostasy. They even have like a cute little animation with Goj Vandire. So it's fun. Check it out.
Check it out. Podcast recommending another podcast. I guess I'll do one
Well,
real quick. If you guys like podcasts and you like superhero movies and other movies, check out Mr. Sunday Movies podcast, The Weekly Planet. Really good.
mhm.
They're both Australian and I love them very much. They don't say the C
Uh,
word as
lame.
they really don't. They've said it like twice on the show and I've been listening for 7 years now. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was like my first
Uh,
podcast, yeah.
Well, if we're just having a general podcast talk, what I will say is that both the fourth season third season of Adventure Zone, Graduation has completed, and so has Critical Role's second campaign. Now, I haven't seen the end of either of these, so I'll probably get back to you on these next month. Next month's going to be stacked because I'm going to beat Fire Emblem.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty stacked for me too. It's gonna be we might have to do 2 episodes next month. We just might, because like there's gonna be so many things gonna be finishing up, and like Loki's coming out next month, so I'm gonna want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Which
Graduation for Taz, Critical Role's second campaign. I'll do a full review of that. I'll have finished my 300-hour playthrough of fucking Fire Emblem Three Houses.
yeah. Also, Black Widow comes out too.
I might have actually had enough time to research Fight Club, so we might have a Fight Club. Get ready for like a 5-hour episode of this fucking podcast.
We might have to start earlier.
Yeah.
Like just because oh god. Yeah, hold on. Before we move on, let's see when we're actually going to. I believe July 4th is on a Sunday.
Yeah, it's on a Sunday.
Yeah, so
you will have to deal with fireworks on my end.
I'm gonna suggest that we actually do it the following week, because
Because of fireworks.
not because of fireworks is I don't know, people will be out and about, like that. I actually might be doing something that Saturday. I don't remember. Okay. But yeah, we could probably do it the 10th next month.
Okay, I'm fine with a reschedule.
Yeah.
I appreciate that it's a live reschedule, so everyone knows.
Yeah. Yeah, because if we do it the 10th, Black Widow comes out on the 9th too, so that way I can watch that too.
Oh yeah, all right.
And
gotcha.
not have to cram that into August too, which August will be the 1-year anniversary of the podcast. Woo!
So woo.
I got curious, but it turns out my favorite album is ridiculously expensive. Is that the My Chemical Romance one we were talking about last time? Or is it a different album?
I wonder how much my favorite album costs.
I have all my favorite albums. Because I'm one of those weird people that still buy CDs.
I don't think I own an album.
This album's called Twilight. Like the Twilight soundtrack with Paramore on it.
I can get an audio CD for $16.99.
With Kanye?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Generally considered to be his best album.
Yeah.
I know, I'm a Kanye normie. Shut up.
I already posted about my favorite album, which is clearly Adeptus Prada album on TikTok earlier.
Yeah. Although I apparently have unlimited streaming of it.
There you go.
So, for Amazon. All right. Yeah, that's podcast. Adeptus Ridiculous. Recommend it. Check it out. Warhammer 40k. It's still stupid, but they make it interesting.
Hell yeah, do that. I always listen to everything. Pache showed me the what was it earlier in my Discord? Hold on. This one Final
I don't know. I
Fantasy.
don't go to other people's Discords.
You do sometimes. Sometimes you pop up.
Occasionally, I guess.
It's like a little treat. Oh yeah, Pache showed me the video of the composer from Final Fantasy 14 doing Lahi, and it was the best thing I've ever seen.
Oh.
Yeah. It's really funny, actually. All right, let's move on to the last topic. Well, not the last topic before the main topic, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Is Ravenloft, which is your topic, because I have no idea what's going on.
Book review. Van Richter's Guide to Ravenloft.
I like the vampire guy.
That is Strahd Van Zargovich, I think his name is.
It's very German. I like it. Does he eat schnitzel?
I think he eats blood or some shit. I don't know. He's a dreadlord. Yeah, so this book came out this month. I bought this book in February and saw that it was coming out in May. And I waited all throughout March because it was supposed to be like arriving May 21st, and I was waiting for March, and I waited for March 21st, and I'm like, okay, the book's not here. March 23rd, I'm like, why isn't the book here? And then I realized that it was arriving in May and not fucking March.
To be fair, March, May both have MA. So.
Yup.
And I'm from Massachusetts. So
this book just came out. So I'm just going to quickly go over Van Richter's Guide to Ravenloft. Let's see. I'll flip through it real quick. I know no one gives a shit about D&D but me. They introduced lineages, which is kind of like a little take on races. They have Dumb Fear, which are half vampires. They're okay. They have Hex Blood, which are interesting. They've got a lot of weird powers. They're okay, I guess. And they have Reborn, which are like weird zombie things. They're kind of like the undead gift from Wildmount.
Okay.
Pretty much. They also have a bunch of gifts in this. They're called dark gifts, which are kind of similar to how like supernatural gifts work in Theros and Wildmount also, except dark gifts are usually like, here's this power and also this detriment, and the detriment usually makes the power suck, which I guess is kind of the point because Ravenloft is a horror setting. Yeah, none of them are particularly great. There's Second Skin, which is kind of like the werewolf version of it, but instead of like making a cool werewolf like form and rules for making werewolves, which you would want, it really just functions as like an involuntary alter self spell, which just kind of sucks. It's the laziest way to do a werewolf. It's like, oh, you're a werewolf now, and it's like, cool, this has no mechanical benefits or detriments. I just look like a werewolf now.
Well,
it's very lazy is what I'm gonna say. They didn't even bother to make real rules for it. They have like weird ghost things. They added the College of Spirits Bard class, which is kind of cool. It's like being a bard but with a stand.
Okay.
No, I just said that because of the fucking the picture. I said that because of the picture. It's not really like being a bard with a stand. They do have a D&D class for having a stand, though. It's a monk class because that's where they throw all of the anime abilities. But yeah, you have like these weird tales that you recant, and it has different effects based on your bardic inspiration. It's okay. And then they republished the Undead Warlock from Sword Coast Adventurers Guide. And then there's a bunch of backgrounds, which are kind of interesting about like creating like haunted characters and shit, trauma survivor, investigator, blah, blah, blah. Horror trinkets, which is cool because there's a trinket page, which is really cool in the player's handbook, but they have horror trinkets, which is like the same thing in that they don't do anything, but they're cooler because they're horror themed. And a whole bunch of dread domain information about how to create your own dread domain in case you aren't satisfied with the Ravenloft dread domains. Which, fair enough, I guess. So that's cool. That's really useful, is to tell you how to make your own dread domain. And then just a bunch of information on all of the domains in Ravenloft. And a bunch of advice on how to run different types of horror D&D campaigns. So skipping past all of this bullshit, I am like flying through this book, by the way. I know it seems like I'm talking a lot. Believe me, we are going very quickly.
Believe it.
Let's see. Here's how curses work. Some sample traps. Sample fear and stress mechanics. Blah blah blah. Oh, and they have the monsters. Let's see if there's anything. Oh, there's like a sample adventure, but who cares? I never do sample adventures. They're usually terrible and unbalanced. Yeah, they have plants that take your bodies called body taker plants. They have the boneless, which are just like the skinned flesh of enemies that are coming to attack you as undead creatures.
Can I have my enemies boneless, please?
I have rules for that now. Brain in a jar. They brought back Brain in a jar. I didn't realize that they didn't have Brain in a jar in 5th edition until Brain in a jar showed up. Oh, they started adding proficiency bonus to the monster stat sheet, which thank fucking God. Why weren't they doing that the whole time? Basically like lice. They have little dolls that stab you and then steal your body. They have Doolahans. They have a tree that grows heads. Gremlins, pretty much. Different variants of vampires and werewolves. They have sapient blood that tries to kill you and steal your blood. They have slasher villains. They have slasher villains, pretty much.
So Jason Voorhees, like Myers?
Yes. They have one called Relentless Juggernaut and Relentless Slasher, which the Juggernaut's sort of like the Mike Myers type of it, whereas the Slasher is more like the Scream version.
Oh, okay.
They brought Starspawn in, but they're actually they're not the Starspawn that I fell in love with in 4th edition. They're more like the Thing. Basically, they have 2 forms. They have a form that can take the form of other creatures like dogs, wolves, humans, and they can replace them. And then they have and then when you get its health down, it transforms into a bigger, more horrible monster. They turn Starspawn into the Thing, basically.
Okay.
From the movie. They have new swarms. They have Unspeakable Horror, which reminds me a lot of the horrors from Ravnica. They have Vampiric Mind Flayers, Were-Ravens, and they have new types of zombie, which are just severed limb zombies, Plague Sprader zombies, and zombie clots, which are gigantic undead zombie hordes that attack you all at once.
Neat.
And they have a Ouija board.
Okay.
So that's Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft. Here's what I'll say. The rules on creating your own dread plane are interesting, and the overview of how to of the various dread planes in Ravenloft are useful. If you were trying to run your own Ravenloft setting, I'm not sure how useful it is, but it's also Ravenloft, and nothing ever changes in Ravenloft, so it's not like you couldn't just go online, look up a fucking Ravenloft wiki, and just be like, hey, what did they say about Ravenloft in 2nd edition D&D? It hasn't fucking changed. Here's your rules. Figure it the fuck out. Nothing's different. It's Ravenloft. The whole point about Ravenloft is it's the same fucking thing over and over again. For my purposes, I have no interest in running Ravenloft. I more just wanted the added shit, the extra monsters, the races, and the classes and stuff. And for my purposes, I felt that the Ravenloft book was very bare bones. Probably one of my least favorite D&D books that I have purchased for 5th edition. But I have it, and now you can play half vampires, so that is fine.
Vampires, werewolves, zombies, all the stuff. And boneless enemies. Can't forget about the boneless enemies.
Well, you can't play a boneless enemy, but...
well, I mean, they're still there, man.
You can fight them.
Normally I order my wings bone in, but I think tomorrow I'm going to get in honor of the boneless enemy.
With the rules for skeletons, boneless, and necro-ichor, I now have the rules to play an entire person in pieces. You can fight their blood, skin, and bones all at the same time.
That's terrifying, and I love it. That's really good.
That might be fun to do at one point. I'll throw that into a campaign. But yeah, just as an overview, for those that don't know Ravenloft, it takes place in the Plane of Shadows, and there's these things called the Dark Powers, which are very mysterious, godlike entities that can actually bar gods from the planes on the demi-planes in Ravenloft itself, where specific villains are tormented in their own nightmares forever. But they're also immortal, and they're basically demigods in the realms themselves, so it's a little give and take.
Okay.
They can control weather and prevent extraplanar communication, but they themselves are prisoners in their own planes, tormented by these dark powers. And whenever they die or get killed or whatever, time just resets. Which is why I said it's fucking Ravenloft. You can just go look up past editions of Ravenloft and get the same shit. Yeah, that's Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft. No one really cares, but there you go.
I enjoyed it. I still want to play D&D. Top of ours.
Arsic, I think, was the most excited for D&D. The thing about D&D is that, like, no one ever really tried to... like, you tried to set it up on, like, Thursday, but we never really talked about it. And no one... I never got a full idea of who's playing, if we had enough players, and, like, no one really tried to set up a specific date to start or anything. And like I said at the start, I'll run the game, but after what happened with the last Pathfinder game I ran on stream, I have zero interest of hoarding a bunch of fucking cats together that barely want to play the game. So
yeah, because I'm definitely like I know
if you all set up a time to play the game, I'll fucking show up and run your game. Is what I'll say. Like if we get these are the people who are playing. I would like 5 people. I know Bone said they'd like to play maybe, but they also questioned if they even could. And if Bone can't play, that's only 3 players, and I can't run a 3-player 5th edition game. I can, but it changes how monsters work, and I don't want to deal with it. It's so much more math if we don't have 4 to 6 players.
Well, I think Pache was in on it too.
It was you, Pache, and Arsic were definites. Bone, maybe. Arsic said Jacob might play, but then Jacob never messaged me about playing.
Yeah. Then I know we created our character.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure if you created your characters. You overlooked how to create characters. If for like serious character creation, I would want to be there for session 0. But you had like enough of an idea of where you were going and what you wanted to be, I think. Yeah. But it's like I don't know who's fucking playing. I don't know when we're playing. I don't know what anyone's times are. And like no one really messaged me about it or anything and wanted to set anything up. Other than just being like, we should set some stuff up, and like that's not setting stuff up. Saying we're gonna set stuff up isn't setting stuff up. Like I said, like with the Pathfinder debacle, where I spent weeks and weeks setting the whole game up, and then everyone dropped out in session 2. I'm not spending a bunch of time hoarding cats.
No,
like,
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so that's why like I haven't even like brought it up until like we're just talking about it now, because like Arsic's been going through some stuff lately with work and stuff like that, and like I had the free time, but I just
yeah,
it'll happen when it happens.
Yeah, like I have a campaign and everything, but like what I'll do is like since I'm already running a different D&D campaign, I'll just run the same campaign.
That makes sense. Yeah. Why?
Yeah, I already have all the notes for it. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Also, when do you want to do A Way Out? We still got to do that.
I've got to fucking finish this PS3 streaming shit.
No, fair enough. Yeah. That makes sense.
I need to do fucking Persona 4, and then I fucking owe Pache Echo Knight playthrough, if it's even possible to do an Echo Knight playthrough. And then I have to do fucking God of War before I can even think about it, because changing the settings on the PS3 and resyncing the audio and the video and all that shit is terrible. There's like cords I have to unplug. I hate it.
Are you playing on a PS3?
I am playing on a PS3.
What are you using? Because like when I plugged mine in, it was fine for Demon Souls and Sonic. Yeah.
I am using a Hapagage or whatever. No, it's more about like fucking with OBS. The cords aren't even that big of a deal. It's fucking with OBS that's the problem.
Oh, okay.
Because I have to resync all the audio and change like the resolutions and shit. It's fucking work. I don't feel like it. That's why I want to never stream off of fucking console again. That's the point. The point is I want to stop streaming off of consoles. And after like God of War 1, 2, or 3, I'll never have to go back to the PS3. And the PS3, you have to like jump through some fucking hoops because of the HDCP enabled in it.
Yeah. You just got, if you just use a splitter, then you're good. That's what I did. Yeah. I just used an HDMI splitter for that.
Yeah. And then after that is, I only have to do it for Kingdom Hearts, which is on PS4, which is a lot easier.
This month, we watched Paranoia Agent.
Mm-hmm. The only thing, you forgot to intro what this show is, by the way.
I always do that. I'm terrible at the intros. Zach, you do the intro because it's technically your thing. I'm just kind of.
Oh, shit. Calling me out. Anime Dartboard is an anime book club where we pick a random, maximum 13 episode anime series from my plan to watch list, and then we take a huge steaming shit all over it.
Sometimes, but sometimes we actually enjoy it. Sometimes. Magical Warfare
Paranoia Agent is the only anime from Satoshi Kon that I had not seen. I've now seen everything Satoshi Kon has done, I believe.
This is the only thing I'm pretty sure of his I've seen.
Watch Perfect Blue.
Yeah, you told me. I started Black Lagoon too, which was supposed to be for tonight, but I didn't. I watched 2 episodes and I got distracted by. I started watching it before the whole Berserk thing, so then I started watching.
Mm-hmm. Black Lagoon is good. It's not made by Satoshi Kon.
Yeah, I don't know. It just made me think.
Although, fun fact about Black Lagoon: the creator of Black Lagoon also makes a hentai doujin of the Black Lagoon characters under the pseudonym Tex-Mex.
Tex-Mex?
Yes. So there is official Black Lagoon. Well, it's unofficial Black Lagoon hentai, but it is created by the creator of Black Lagoon.
Okay.
So that's fun. I haven't seen it. I just know it exists.
At least you know it exists. That's all that matters.
Yes. At some point, I read like an article about like 10 famous manga artists who have done porn, and I'm like, okay. And like some of them are like fucking obvious, like the creator of Mikan Ki, and I'm like, no, really?
I mean, there was a little bit of porn in this for like a split second.
Yes.
Porn and Gundam for a second.
Did the author of Hellsing also make a hentai that was connected to Hellsing? Yes, we got to see, I believe, the consent. It's either Hitler conceiving Schrodinger or Hitler having sex with Schrodinger, or both. But Hitler was involved in it.
Just remember, episode 100, we are going to review a hentai.
Yes. And from that point on, the podcast becomes weekly.
Take about 5 years. Also, speaking of said Gundam, I do have that gun.
Review a time to screw. I think that's what you said when this came up. Anyway, Paranoia Agent, Satoshi Kon, like 12 or some odd episodes. What did you think of it, John?
I actually really liked it. At the beginning, I was like, okay, this is like your standard fare, but it gets really, really weird towards the end, which I like when it does that. So I thought it was pretty good. I was actually talking to the owner of the Subway in my mall about it too, because he's seen it too. He's like, yeah, I watched it in college because him and I talk about anime and shit. So yeah, I watched it in college, and I like wrote a paper like kind of junction with it too. I was like, oh, okay. But I liked it.
Okay. So this is probably...
Oh, Sack froze. What did he say that?
Oh.
Now you're back?
It was such a controversial opinion that it fucking broke.
Did it? Okay, that was like the perfect time for it.
I said it, and reality was like, what? And it just vibrated. I vibrated reality.
Let me get the hot takes.
This is my least favorite thing that has ever appeared as a dart.
Oof. Really?
I would rather rewatch Skycrawlers.
Oof. Magical work.
Yeah. I had a rough time. I barely made it through this.
Okay.
Yes, when Maid was first coming to my streams, she mentioned how she was doing a paper on Satoshi Kon, so I did know that. Maid did a paper on Satoshi Kon. Yeah, I did not like this at all. I had an internal debate on whether this was like a 3 or a 4 for me, and I decided that if I were to arrange it on a like scale, if the debate was a 6 or 7, I'd probably give it like more of a 6, so it became more of a 4, if that makes any sense. Like,
no,
because my
I'd probably
also
put it 6 too, like 6 category.
my scale works on an inverse. Like, so you have to earn down and up. And I'm like, I went through my entire anime list of everything I've ever given a 3 and everything I've ever given a 4. And it's like, well, okay, technically, I like this less than anything I have ever given a 4. But I like it more than anything I have ever given a 3.
Yeah, it's like I liked it, but I wasn't like in like with it. So like I was like wasn't a bad watch. Like Skycrawlers, I think Skycrawlers and Magical Warfare are way worse. So I actually could watch this.
Will say this: Skycrawlers and Magical Warfare are worse shows.
Yes.
I just like this less.
Fair enough, yeah.
This is definitely on every way more competent than Skycrawlers and Magical Warfare.
And I watched the entire series today too. I watched I watched episode 3 to 13 today. I watched 1 and 2 yesterday. Because that's how I do things. I wait until the last minute to watch this.
It's a very Bloodborne situation with this, where I will acknowledge that it is solidly put together. It is not to my taste.
Fair enough. And I love Bloodborne, but I did not love this. I liked it. I thought it was interesting, but it wasn't interesting. No, like it was. The only reason why I could finish it in one day was because A, I was getting paid to sit in the back and do nothing and watch this, and B, because it was literally just dead all day today, and I just had the time to do it. But it was kind of hard. It wasn't. I wouldn't say a hard watch, but it was like I had to focus and do the same. There was I think I got to episode 8, I think it was, and then I was just on TikTok for like an hour. And then I like looked up and I'm like listening to it and like I know what's going on because that's how my ADHD brain works. And like it was like I believe it was like episode like 11 or 12, and I'm like, oh, this is almost over. Okay. I'm like, oh, it's like 6:30. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's definitely well made. It was decently directed. It's my least favorite thing I think I've ever seen from Satoshi Kon. And it was very much something he would make. This is how a lot of his shit goes. It sort of uses like surrealist elements to address actual things. But unlike something like Perfect Blue, which is about a character having a psychotic break, or like Paprika, which is about like reality and fantasy colliding. In Paranoia Agent, it's very clearly using its absurdist elements as sort of metaphors, and sort of as like a way of conveying this sort of paranoia of the situation to the viewer. It uses a lot of like figurative imagery, I will say.
Yeah.
And it's very fucking like it's very like Satoshi Kon, but it works, but it works less effectively than his other movies, if that makes sense.
May brings up a good point. I do have an excuse. I have a really good excuse. But I do also do that with like every anime.
I mean, I'm not sure what am I making an excuse for?
Yeah, she said, "Oh yeah, I forgot you two don't pay attention to the stuff you watch." John has an excuse.
I mean, I also don't pay attention, but I paid enough of attention. I mean, I feel like I got what I needed to out of the show. I don't know.
I definitely paid attention to it. Like I was saying, like it's not that I didn't like it. Like,
boredom was a big part.
Yeah, like it had me hooked until like episode 8, and then I was kind of like, okay, and then like all that weird shit just started happening, and that's kind of like where I was like, all right. And then like I said, like I looked up and it was like episode 11 by then. It's like, but I was still listening, so like I knew what was going on. I just wasn't watching. It was more like a listening affair at that point. Because for whatever reason, my brain can work like that, where I can literally watch two things at once and absorb the knowledge of both. I don't know if it's a superpower or a bad thing, but I do it all the time. Like I'll literally be watching an anime like up here and working on shit on the like VC monitor all the time.
No, yeah, I do that as well. That's That's how I roll.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's why I don't like stream every game I play, because that is not an interesting experience for everyone.
Yeah, same thing here. Like there's some games that I choose not to stream just because I can't. I can't do. I can't stream it. But
Yeah.
I feel it. Yeah, superpowers.
But yeah, I honestly just didn't like it. I wasn't a big fan of its subject matter. I wasn't a big fan of like the absurdist elements. I've never been a big fan of like figurative language and visual metaphor anyway. Like in lighter cases, but as heavy as like Satoshi Kon usually goes with it, I've never enjoyed it. I find it like hard to digest, kind of. It's like so much happening visually. It's like getting vomited on by a metaphor.
Yeah. No, like the symbolism and stuff in the show, like I thought was neat. I kind of guessed what was going on from the first episode. I'm like, something has to be going, because I mean, it wouldn't have opened up like that if it wasn't the case. That's just how I put shit together sometimes. I was on Discord playing Revelations Persona while character was attacked, so down, looked up, and the next thing I do that all the time. That literally that's like me. Like I just look up and I'm like, oh, oops. Any RPG. But that didn't ruin obviously the reveal for me, even though I kind of guessed it, because like the way they presented it was like it was solid. It was like the kind of like, I felt like if this show was like 3 episodes or 2 episodes shorter, it would have fared a little bit better. But it felt like they kind of just threw some shit in, like the whole episode where like they're talking to the kid and it's kind of like that medieval type of episode. Like I thought that was kind of weird, and like
From what Made said, this is from a bunch of ideas he didn't get to use.
Yeah, which you can kind of tell because like the way it goes, and then you like the guy in the bathroom like spitting out the words and shit like that. Like those are all.
I actually thought that was one of the more clever metaphors.
Yeah, that part, like it was good, but like it should have been elsewhere in like the show. Like I feel like like again, like if they just took a couple of the stuff up, and like the whole episode with like the girl or the tutor who's also like a prostitute or whatever, I feel like that could have been shortened a little bit. Like I got it by the end of the episode. I don't think she needed a whole episode dedicated to her. But I mean, plot wise, it makes sense because like everything's connected in some way. I just, again, I like, if it could have fared better if it was like 11 episodes rather than 13.
Just shorter.
Yeah, you can say that about a lot of shows. It is what it is. Like again, it's not like I didn't like it. It's just that like there's points where I was like, okay, like this is happening, cool. But when it comes to like the actual like plot, I think it was an interesting plot. Again, symbolism that was great, and some of like the art and the way it depicted something like that guy in the bathroom like spewing out the words was fucking cool, and it was awesome.
Yeah, that was great. That was probably my favorite part.
Yeah, it was like,
oh, and the lady who killed her husband was, see, part of the thing is like I think the show just feels too cynical for me. It's like it's too mean-spirited. Like everyone's like a terrible person or a pedophile. There's so much pedophilia in this, by the way.
Yeah,
like
the whole
what is it, like
thing.
3-4 characters? It's a lot.
Yeah, the whole guy that's like, call me daddy. Like I hated that part. I fucking,
oh yeah,
it made me cringe so hard.
Like, oh yeah, and then you find out he's like spying on her. Like he's spying on his daughter. Yeah, and then she like goes crazy and like mentally blocks it out.
Yeah, it was stuff like that. I think that, like, obviously because I'm a dad, like that stuff creeps me out even more, and
yeah,
I have a daughter as well, so like stuff like that, I'm just like, it makes me cringe, and like it's not that like, obviously
if it was just like one, two, either, but it was like multiple. I think it was like 3 characters or something. Like it came up, like it was a plot point.
Yeah, it wasn't like it was like a one and done thing. Like it kept coming up, and like
Mhm.
I can watch that stuff and like it's not like I'm like, oh, like we shouldn't have this in media because it's a part, unfortunately it's part of life, and like
Yeah.
it should be depicted like the Lovely Bones, like that is a great story and it has to
Mhm.
do all with that. Um and other media and stuff, but like it's the fact that they kept doing it too. That was like I'm like, okay, like once would have been cool. Like you can't have three separate people having like the same thing and like to make it interesting to me. Like it
Mhm.
at that point it's just
Yeah, you
being
gotta spice it up a little bit. Yeah.
exactly like if one of them was like a pedo and like the incestuous stuff, all in one character, and then you had another guy who's maybe like I don't know, maybe a necrophiliac, and like I don't know, like, and I don't know, some dude that wanted to fuck robots. I don't know. But like the three of the same thing is like
Fuck robots. There's no robots. This takes place in like the 90s, I think.
yeah, I'm just saying, you like in generalities, like it could have been some other weird sexual thing. He had a balloon fetish. That was a thing in the 90s
Oh
probably.
dear. Okay. Yeah, that's
So,
fair. 2004, winter 2004.
okay. So I mean like is but I mean again, like overall I liked it. Like I wasn't a huge fan, but like I feel like if I watched this like maybe like 10 years ago, I would have been blown away by it. But
Mhm.
watching it as almost 30 year 31-year-old doesn't hit quite as hard as maybe like if I was 20 or 20.
Yeah, yeah, like I said, I think my main thing with it is it's too like mean spirited. It's too cynical. Everything's like sucks. Everything's sad or like creepy or unsettling. There's no like up points. And like I said, this is competently made. This is well made.
It's
Like
very well
the
made.
show was supposed to feel unsettling, and I was unsettled. The problem is I do not enjoy that sensation. And that's like the whole show. It's like, ooh, look at all these pedophiles, or ooh, mysterious psycho kid with like gold roller skates and a bent baseball bat. Ooh, and it's like, yeah, I mean, it's effective, but I'm not a fan. And like, God, I hated those fucking housewives. Like, I think the of all of the scenes that stuck with me, it's that fucking housewife arc uh that fucking got to me the most. Like,
Hmm.
fuck those bitches.
No, that's understandable. I mean,
And then at the end she like fucking kills her husband. So
I don't mind being unsettled. But like you said, at a certain point, it's like okay,
it's like the whole show.
yeah, like 'cause I've seen stuff with a lot of like essay and like R word and stuff like that. 'Cause we use those terms now because we don't want to be banned and blocked. Um,
For what?
needed for stuff.
Oh, I didn't hear.
All right, never mind. But I've seen like Berserk is a good example of that. Like there's specifically a plot point where somebody gets R worded. So it's and like I can watch it. And I'm not like an advocate of it, but I'll watch it, and I think that's unsettling. But like if that happened in Berserk and then happened like an episode later, I'd be like, okay, I think we're okay. I think we're all set with this, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It becomes like heavy handed at a
Yeah,
time. Yeah.
exactly. But like it's shows like that like you could put that fucked up shit in it, but as long as
Well,
it's
that's
not,
that's part of the thing about like Berserk is like that I said everyone's like, oh, it's so dark and edgy, but it's like the whole thing about Berserk is that like there's some ups to the downs, and this is just all down the whole time,
yeah, exactly, yeah,
which is the point. And if it didn't do that, it wouldn't be going against its point. I mean, it's even called Paranoia Agent, but that just because you've performed your fucking feat well doesn't mean I have to enjoy it.
that's true. But I mean, I would recommend it to people, like just because everyone's gonna have like a different.
Manhunt, I doubt it'll unsettle me. I have a lot thicker stomach than you think I do.
Yeah, like I would recommend because like I think this series would hit everyone differently. It really
Hmm.
depends on like if I were to show this to Megan, she would probably I don't know because she really liked Berserk, so I mean I don't know if she would like this. I'm not gonna rewatch it, so I mean who knows?
Yeah.
But I mean if I showed it to maybe my buddy Tom or something, maybe he would be like, I actually really like this. Or if I showed it to like my brother's girlfriend who's really into anime, who only really watches like Inuyasha and Naruto, maybe she would hate it. I don't know. Really depends.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if you like stuff like that, if you like to feel unsettled and weird for like a couple hours, then definitely watch.
Or just watch just watch fucking Perfect Blue.
Fair. Or Paprika.
Watch something made by the same creator with a similar feel, but actually good.
Yeah. And again, Paprika's good.
Paprika's okay.
I like it.
I didn't know you'd seen Paprika.
I watched it really drunk.
Oh, interesting.
And then I forgot I watched it until somebody reminded me I watched it. Then I have to rewatch it.
Surprised you didn't talk about the suicide episode where the one kid kills himself. I didn't really think it was that noteworthy.
Yeah, me either. I mean, I've seen people do that to themselves like IRL, so that doesn't that doesn't really bug me in any sort of media anymore. Like it's just like, oop, 2 scoops of tomato soup, whatever. I should really stop saying that when it comes to that's kind of, but I just love that phrase, 2 scoops. I'll never not use it.
How did he? Do we know how he killed himself?
I honestly, and I watched it.
Wasn't it like a head wound or something? How did he like slam his head against a wall? I wasn't paying enough attention to know.
Yeah, that must have.
The one with the old man, the young man, the little girl, and they all want to kill themselves, and the 2 guys don't want the girl. Oh, okay. I actually really liked that episode. Can I say that? That was my favorite episode.
Which episode was that?
Yeah, the one with the 2 guys that were trying to kill themselves. Like the old man, I don't know why the old man wanted to kill himself. And like I think the girl implied she had something like going on with her parents or something. And like the one guy was gay, and they all like tried different ways to kill themselves, but none of them really want to kill themselves. They just say they do. I thought that was all really clever. You don't remember that episode? Like the 3 people meet up to kill themselves and they're like, we're going to hang ourselves. No, that doesn't work. Should we jump off a building? Nah, that's stupid. Jump into a train? Nah, we're not going to jump into a train. And then they like go to a hotel at the end and they're like, man, wouldn't it be great if fucking Little Slugger comes in, and then Little Slugger comes in and they like chase him down and they're like, get back here, Little Slugger.
I honestly, that was probably when I was like zoned out.
Oh no, that's like the best episode. I tell you, that's the best episode.
Yeah, because that must have been in the tail end when I wasn't.
Oh, you missed the best episode.
Oops.
I'm actually glad Made pointed that out. I literally forgot about that episode. That episode is fucking great. That episode was banned in the UK until the Blu-ray came out, but they don't kill themselves, and they don't really want to. That's the point of the episode.
Yeah, I think it's just
the point of the episode is that they don't want to kill themselves.
Yeah, UK's like weird. Like even if you talk about it in media, like they don't like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know too much about UK censorship other than it's the bunch of it.
Yeah. Yeah, and they got some good stuff. Anyways,
okay.
So if I were to rate this, like I said, I'd probably give it a 6. Just because like it looks nice, it's very well put together. It just wasn't for me.
4 is what I ended up with.
4. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm more generous.
I decided 4 over 3.
I'm like the Santa
like
Claus of ratings. Like I'm generous.
Yeah, it's my least favorite 4, but it's better than anything with a 3 in it for sure.
Like the original cut of Justice League, I gave a 6. That's generous because that is not a.
I gave it a 4.
Santa Claus.
My most common ratings are 4 through 7.
Yeah, it's very rare that I give something higher than an 8 unless it like literally blows me away. Unless it's every Dead Wars Prada album. They're just masters.
Coached Big Order and gave that shit a 3. I kind of liked Big Order, but I can understand not liking Big Order. Wait, Big Order or... Oh, no, I was thinking of Big O. Big Order. Yeah, I read the manga, and it was okay. It was no Mirai Nikki. Although I think the anime for Big Order, I heard some stuff that like the anime is worse than the manga.
Oof.
Not that anyone thought the manga was that great anyway, but
All right, so what do we got next month?
all right. So I have it in here. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle.
Next month is gonna be.
I won't
stacked
make the
like
shuffle
pancakes.
joke again.
What was the shuffle joke?
Oh my!
So every time you do an oh my,
Well, this was gonna happen at one point.
oof, I don't like the way that sounds at all.
Oh shit! I'm almost excited.
This is very vague. What do we got?
Oh, this had to happen.
It's either gonna
This
be a
had to
banger
happen.
or a shit box.
This had to happen at some point. Was I sure that this? Oh yeah, Caitlin Glass. I guess this has been dubbed. I'm surprised this even has a dub. Okay, I'll send you over an image. Okay, here we go. What dart is this? 12, I think? The 12th dart. Love Live School Idol Project.
Just by looking at this is definitely a thing. Okay. That up. And
Maybe gave it a 7.
he gave it a 7.
Love Live School Idol Project, animated by Studio Sunrise, directed by Takehiko Kyogoku, who is famous for this. He did a Shin-Chan movie.
Oh, Shin.
Ew, he did Gate. Oh, he did Land of the Lustrous, actually. Okay, so this is like a real person. This is a human with talent, apparently. Something called Seize Your Heart from That Day, which I've never heard of. It is, done by Studio Sunrise, directed by that dude. It has 13 episodes, aired in winter 2013. Let's see. I gave Paranoia a 9, which is probably the highest you guys will ever watch on this show. Otano Kizaka High School is in a crisis. With the number of enrolling students dropping lower and lower every year, the school is set to shut down after its current first years graduate. However, second year, Hanuka Kosuka refuses to let it go without a fight. Searching for a solution, she comes across popular school idol group A-Rise and sets out to create a school idol group of her own. With the help of her childhood friends Umi Sonata and Kotori Minami, Hanuka forms Muse to boost awareness and popularity of her school. Unfortunately, it's all easier said than done. Student Council President Aria Yase vehemently opposes the establishment of a school idol group and will do anything in her power to prevent its creation. Moreover, Hanuka and her friends have trouble attracting any additional members, but Love Live, a competition to determine the best and most beloved school idol groups in Japan, can help them gain the attention they desperately need. With the contest fast approaching, Hanuka must act quickly and diligently to try and bring together a school idol group and win the Love Live in order to save Otano Kizaka High School. Written by Mal Rewrite. Average score 7.42.
All right, if the average score is 7, but this is definitely something that I know I don't know. We'll see. It's music and I mean I like Sailor Moon, so I mean that's all girls.
Yeah, this is not Sailor Moon.
Yeah. This is gonna be like a million sequels to the show, and
Love Live is the definitive idol anime. It is the Sailor Moon of idol anime. It is the Dragon Ball Z of idol anime.
So there's gonna be Super Saiyans and fights in the show?
No.
Oh.
What I am saying is it's like the initial D of idol anime. It is like when you think idol anime, you think Love Live, pretty much.
Well, this will be and this is 12 episodes, you said?
13 episodes. There's also like a million spin-offs and sequels and second seasons and whatevers. But yes, this is the idol anime basically. Um, it like the Sword Art Online of idol anime. It like popularized the genre and is part of the reason where we're at now with anime. So it's got historical value. I don't know if that makes it good, but a lot of people really like it, and I think they formed like an actual band, which at this point has broken up. Love Live School Idol Project is part of the Love Live multimedia franchise co-developed with Ngeki G Magazine. In 2015, idol group Muse was Japan's 8th best-selling musical act, selling over 800,000 CDs, DVDs, and Blu-rays. The series also released a mobile rhythm game titled Love Live School Idol Festival for iOS and Android, developed by K-Lab, which was released in 2013 for Japan, 2014 for English users. As of March 22, 2016, the game has surpassed 25 million users worldwide. The only thing I know about this is Nico Nico Ni, which is one of the girls' like catchphrases.
Why does that sound familiar?
You've probably heard it.
That sounds super familiar.
Nico Nico Ni. There's like a whole hand thing, but I don't know what it is.
I'm sure we will by the end of this. We are going to do that next time. That is a promise. We are going to do the hand.
I have to like practice it.
We'll meet up an hour before the show. We'll practice our choreography.
It's only right to practice choreography for an idol show.
I mean, if we got it, we got it. We gotta keep the folks entertained, right?
Yes.
Anyways, so what do you have coming up for you? You got the rest of Persona 4 Ultimax, right? Arena.
Yes, I literally just have to finish it. There's like one stream left in the game. I can't wait to not fucking do it anymore. Then Echo Knight 2, Lord of Nightmare, pending technical difficulties. That one's gonna be a little harder. So hopefully I can get through that pretty quickly. If so, that's probably a 1-2 stream game. And then God of War 1, 2, and 3. I might do something with God of War. I'm not sure. I'm still on the iffy. I probably won't. And then that probably, hopefully that won't take too long. So after that, by Shoujo Senshi Sailor Moon, another story, also pending technical difficulties. You know, I got to get a hold of it and all that shit. And Persona 2 Eternal Punishment, I'll be on that probably by the next one, I would assume. Assuming I don't get laid the fuck out. I actually got my first, I got my first COVID shot, actually.
Oh yeah, that'll do it. I'm sure. I got both of mine. Like the second one didn't hit me, but the first one hit me like a fucking ton of bricks.
Okay, so yeah, I heard the second one's the one that hits you. The first one laid my ass out for like 2 days.
Yeah, the first one. The next day I went to work, but I literally just sat there and did.
Yeah, I didn't stream for like for one of my weekends because I like got hit and I'm like, oh god, I am asleep. I think I slept for like 15 hours.
Yeah, the second one didn't hit me at all. My arm just hurt.
Yeah. So hopefully I'm more like that. I hear it hits you harder the younger you are. So
wow, way to bring that up. Which brings me to what I'm doing. Tomorrow we're bringing back viewer requests. On Sundays, which we are doing Rocket Power Beach Bandits, the game that I've been requested by not one, not two, not three, but like at least 5 people to play that game for whatever reason.
Fucking why?
I who knows? It was a meme and then it became a real thing and now it's gonna be a real thing again. So we're doing that, and then Monday we have a very special birthday stream, which I haven't planned out yet. So it's be my 31st birthday.
Oh, happy birthday!
Yeah, so that'll be fun. I don't know what we're doing, but I'm sure Mega Man will be in there somewhere. So that'll be fun. So join me then. We'll be doing that at 8:30 because I have to work on my birthday, unfortunately. Then for the rest of the week, it'll be Bug Fables and or Bayonetta. We'll probably switching between those two games. Then Friday I will be taking that out because I'm actually throwing a shindig at my house. I will not be live streaming that because I will be. Other than that, will be normal schedule for the rest. Which is
yeah. I will probably not have an episode of Water come out this month. Just as a warning.
Oh, that yeah. Speaking of which, I'm also working on a vocal cover of song. I'm not gonna say what song, or people can guess, but I'm doing that, and I'm also finally working on YouTube shit, and Yeah. I'm actually working on stuff, which is nice.
Okay.
Also, new camera upgrade is ready. I just got me battery for it. It'll be here tomorrow, so this will not anymore.
It is a metal cover of My Boyfriend as a Pilot by Lin Minmay.
It might be. It very well just maybe. But yeah, so there's things. Sack, where can we find you?
You can find me on in your heart. You can find me in the depths of your heart.
Okay, that was very Phil Collinsy.
That's right. You can find me here. You all already know me though, so like, you're already following or subscribed. If you're watching this, let's be honest.
Fair enough. And I don't need to introduce myself, and plus all my social media literally on my screen every couple minutes. So if you don't know where to find me, it's all yeah. Catch you guys next month. Jam-packed episode.
It's gonna be a fucking big boy.
Yeah, we may have to split it up in two. We'll see. It depends, but because I have a lot of stuff, we might have to split.
Fucking bare minimum, I'm gonna have to talk about Fire Emblem.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna be finishing Bug Fable and Bayonetta by that time. Plus all the other shit that's coming out. So
we have to talk about Love Live.
Yeah.
I might be able to research Fight Club. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. Fight Club may return next month.
Yeah,
but who knows? Maybe we get a double episode. Maybe we don't. Maybe we just find a way to condense stuff. Who knows?
I don't even know what a double episode is.
Me either. Yeah, that'd be kind of weird because like we'd have no anime dartboard. One of those.
Or we would have the most anime dartboard.
Yeah, either that or we just pick a random movie and just watch the movie and just do a special secondary one.
Yeah. Do like a watch along?
Yeah, we could
but
do
it's
that.
just our faces.
That'd be interesting. I did have a concept of doing movie commentary like that, but I don't know about that yet. But
because I think you can do a watch along as long as you don't show it.
Yeah, something like that.
You can also do some watch alongs with Amazon. They have like a watch along streaming thing, but I don't know if you have to pay for that or not.
I have Amazon Prime, so if we can do that,
I also have Amazon Prime.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know if it's like a secondary service you have to like pay for, or whether you can just do it.
I can look at it later. But anyways, there will be stuff going on. We'll have some stuff. We'll figure it out when it gets to the point. Watch the Devilman,
which is on the 10th. We've rescheduled.
Yes, we are doing it the 10th because we're not going to do it over 4th of July weekend just because probably I think I have some plans. I don't remember. The 10th worked for me because I'm going on a small vacation after the 10th. Be fun.
And there will be fireworks all over my fucking area.
Yeah, so just to avoid any of that shit and stuff like that, and if people wanted to join too, so that's the other thing. And we'll probably just do it here again, so you don't have to do the Discord thing, or I mean the OBS stuff. So we'll plan it out. Everything will be in Discords and all that stuff. So
I might be able to host the next one.
Okay, good. Yeah, if you can host the next one.
It might be a better idea to let you host it also, so we just get back on track.
That's fine too. It's easy for me because literally the Stream Deck makes doing this so much easier because I literally just. It's not gonna lie, it's pretty.
Yeah, my OBS settings involve like 18 different layers of bullshit I have to flip through.
Fair enough, yeah. But anyways, we will see everyone next month. Hope you enjoy your month. Everyone stay safe, stay educated, and stay inside. I go outside because it's fucking hot out.
Oh, also virus.
Oh, that too, yeah.
Yeah, especially Japan, who's having a big issue with it right now.
Yeah. Australia too. They just a couple parts of Australia just went into lockdown. I have a couple friends out there. Just
why am I not surprised?
Yeah, Australia doesn't fuck around. They're like, oh, one case, lockdown, the entire city.
No, I mean, like, why am I not surprised that it's fucking spiking in Australia?
Yeah.
I feel like shitting on the Australian government is like the national pastime of Australians.
So I hear.
Yeah.
A lot of my Australian counterparts are always talking about how fucking government. Well,
it's on fire.
Everything wants to kill you in Australia. That's fact. I can't
Especially the government.
I can't wait to go there someday. Government and bushfires, two biggest things that are trying to kill you.
Yeah. There's a fucking weed that makes you shoot yourself.
What?
Yeah, there's a sort of nettles that get into your skin that cause such debilitating pain. It's described as having acid that's on fire poured on you.
Oh, okay.
And it gets into between the layers of your skin and stays there for months. And there's a story about, I think it was like British soldiers that were in Australia, and one of the soldiers had to go take a shit and while away from his squad, and then they just hear a gunshot and they show up and they found he just like killed himself. And they're like, what the fuck happened? And they found the fucking nettles next to him because he wiped his ass with the nettles and it was so painful he just shot himself.
That's
rather than have to live with months of like acid fire asshole pain.
I thought I knew a lot about Australia, but I never heard of that.
Rabies infested drop bears, kangaroos, fucking everything's poisonous. The most venomous animal on the planet, the box jellyfish, is native to fucking Australia. Don't go to Australia.
I want to go to Australia. That's the thing.
The place literally sounds like a fucking hellhole.
Yeah,
it sounds made up. It sounds like a sci-fi fucking jungle planet that like the predators train their young in.
And like the fucked up thing is like I want to go during spider season too because I love spiders and I just want to see a whole bunch of spiders. That's my dream is to go to Australia during spider season.
You know a location's fucked up when the spiders are the least intimidating thing in the fucking country.
Yeah, that's true. You're not wrong. Yeah, you're not wrong. The real question is why no one stayed. I don't know. The koala bears are pretty cute.
Oh, you mean the rabies-infested drop bears?
Yeah, they're cute, but they'll fuck you up
until they land on you and give you rabies.
All right. Well, everyone is
also not bears, I believe.
Yeah, I think they're marsup. No,
I'm pretty sure they're marsupials, right?
This is why our podcast lasts 4 hours because.
Yeah. Well, they also they're marsupials.
Are they okay?
Yeah, they also eat leaves that slowly poison themselves because eucalyptus is poisonous.
That's why they have rabies and are going crazy, you know. Yeah. Shout out to all my koala bears.
Look, Australia knows. Yeah. You don't live in Australia and you don't know. It's like if you're in Alabama, you fucking know.
We're looking at you, are sick. Oh no, he lives in Arkansas. I don't remember. He lives in one of the A's, the A blue states. Anyways, everyone enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy your month. We'll see you July 10th with a jam-packed episode that's gonna be filled with laughs, gaffs, goofs, and all sorts of shit. Who knows? Maybe there might be a koala bear. Who knows?
Bye-bye.